What's up, everybody? So, yeah, I wanted to hit record. I literally was just telling Michael, like, I was sitting here kind of overthinking, like, okay, so, like, what is this going to be for? And, like, is this going to be for, you know, the Multidimensional Baddie podcast? Is this going to be for, like, something in, you know, the quad or monetize your magic? Or, like, I don't fucking know, to be honest. So, I was like, you know what? I wanted to do some vocal processing. I don't know where we're going to put this. I am tuning the moon right now. I'm doing some lunar tuning. Lunar tuners. What's up, y'all? So that was an eclipse today. I took a 3-hour nap afterwards. I'd like to make it quite clear that it was not the moon's fault, nor was it the eclipse's fault. It was the little bullshit wannabe badasses' fault who was out there having a hissy fit tantrum ick-fueled BF. Lunar tuning you with that. It seems like the microphone is picking it up. I've actually not done this at all. I have no clue how clear this tuning fork's going to come through. So we're doing live. Oh, it's coming through. We're doing experimentation. This is a
Experiment.
moon. We're experimenting.
Experiment.
Daddy David Lynch loves it when you experiment, okay?
Experiment.
This is the Moon Tuning Fork by Myriad Melodies. It's tuned to 210.42 hertz. Love that. So, yeah, I've just been doing some lunar tuning via my Moon Tuning Fork and then my chakra set of tuning forks. And then here in just a minute, we're about to get Mars and the sun out, as I have my entire planetary set. It arrived, you guys. I love it. I spent all Friday tuning planets in preparation for this eclipse. I did a lot of lunar tuning. I did a lot of mercurial tuning as well. The ick seems particularly obsessed with like mercurial energy and lunar energy, but most of them seem to hate the lunar energy and simultaneously attempting to like utilize while perverting the mercurial energy. So that's quite an interesting little note. This is the Saturn tuning fork. It's 147.85 hertz. Let's hear it. It shows up. We're gonna get something. Who knows what, but you're getting the vibrations. And some little ding-dings of Mira and her collar finishing the bowl of Daddy's cereal. So that's what we're up to right now. But yeah, so
Tea time.
Tea time. This summer fucked me up, y'all. Let's start there, okay? Let's have a little interdimensional therapy sesh for moi, all right? So, and we're tuning. This is Mars and Mercury right now. Mars is 144.72 hertz, and Mercury is 141.27 hertz. So you're just going to hear little dings in the background as I'm just doing this, whatever. But anyways, yeah, so basically I just kind of wanted to like debrief on that. I wanted to talk about that for a second. Got to get my tuning in. Hold on. Have you done your tuning today? I recommend that everyone immediately gets themselves a Soul Star tuned tuning fork to 272.20 hertz. And I got mine from, like I said, Myriad Melodies on Etsy. They're fabulous seller. Love them for sound tools. But yeah, I started working with this 272.20 tuned tuning fork. And let's give you a little. See if you pick it up. If not, the vibes are there. started working with the Soul Purpose one, and I was just like, yes, I must have tuning forks. And it's so funny because like literally in 2020, my guides were like, you need to get a whole set of tuning forks, but I didn't know what to buy. And I had just started like really getting like diving into the frequency research that I was doing that would end up kind of forming the basis for what we ended up doing to create Ascended Frequencies, which is pretty cool to say. Can't believe that was 5 years ago. I was like testing all of the music that I was utilizing for astral travels and shamanic journeys and stuff to see what the baseline frequency range was. And I learned that all the music that was like had this baseline frequency range of between like 24 to 78 hertz would like automatically, all you had to do was like put it on and you could very easily access like what I refer to as the shamanic realms. And so yeah, that was pretty interesting, and that's what actually like led kind of to the basis of the idea of the low note in Ascended Frequencies, was through me realizing that that very low frequency range grounded people effortlessly and allowed them to then shoot up way higher, because the deeper that your roots go, the higher your tree can grow. That's just how that works, right? So we have to have the depth to also have the height and the width, because we have to have something to anchor that in. Yeah, so fun little note there. But yeah, this summer was just a lot. Mostly when it came to Witchery U, and I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. So we had to do a mass clear out of Witchery U. Let's have a little debrief about this situation, okay? We had to do a mass clear out of people in Witchery U. So only people who are on an active subscription with us, either as a member of Witchery U or as a private client, those are the only people that now have access to Witchery U, which was really difficult for me to do, because my vision of Witchery U when we started it 2 years and 2 months ago was very utopia based. I was very much like I've always been, wanting to create a better world for everyone. You know what I mean? And one thing that I've had to learn over the course of the last 9.5 years is that not everyone wants a better world, right? They will fight to protect the matrix that they live in sometimes, because they just can't fathom anything else. And ultimately the thing with these people that you just have to really integrate, and it's quite difficult to do, is that, those people will do absolutely everything that they can to keep you from creating that new world, because it is a threat to theirs, because they believe that they have to have the only one and the best one and the most and the this and the that and the other. So about a year ago, I started I had really started to let myself talk on, hi baby, I love you. Mira's like, I'm coming in for my kisses, you're recording. Hi, I love you. Hi, yeah, I love you. You're a good baby. Yes, you are. So, I'd really let myself, I'd spent pretty much by that point in time, about 9-10 months really just going unhinged on Threads, balls to the wall, just whatever the hell I wanted to say, I was saying it. I was just really trying to tune into how do I even talk about all of this work? How do I talk about what I'm doing? A ton of it was processing, because I came into contact with so many different frequency ranges to channel cosmic astrology that I had no direction point for whatsoever, that it just kind of, fried me brains a little. Hi. Why are you staring me down? You want to go back outside? You just came in from outside. Oppressively, Mira just got 3 inches from my face. It's time to go outside. Okay. Anyways. So, You literally just went outside. She's now staring her father down. She's like, we need to go grid. It's full moon, Mommy. We need to go and we need to do 2 more laps around the other building, Daddy. Oh, she's so sweet. How many did you do?
2.
2? So she wants to do 4 total?
Yeah.
Smart girl.
Yeah.
It also interesting to note, if you can check the planetary hours, because it's about to go from Mars to Sun, and I have not tuned Mars to Sun yet, so I thought that was interesting that it was like what needed to do a little tuning from Mars to Sun this time.
It's in Sun.
In Sun? Sorry, it just happened.
Yeah, right.
Just happened. It's happened right now, people.
This exact minute.
Woohoo! Hold on, got to do a little tuning. We've got the inflammation reducer frequency playing in the background. I just randomly channeled this string of numbers. I have no scientific proof or data to back up that this will actually reduce your inflammation. All I know is when I'm in pain and I'm inflamed and I put on the inflammation reducer frequency, within 30 minutes, I can literally be like laying there crying. I'm in so much pain. And within 30 minutes, I'm like sitting up. The inflammation is like with at least 50% reduced. I am like, I can get up and walk around and I'm talking again and I'm vibing and I'm not crying and it's great. So like, that's what I got. There's been a lot of attempt of hijacking interplanetary object energies. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these idiots. They think they can actually like fight Saturn or wield the power of Mercury or something. I don't know. They're fucking stupid. Yeah, I'm sure your little like 5-foot something vessel that gets exhausted after 20 minutes on the stair climber is absolutely going to be able to take on the entire planetary force of Saturn. You sound like an idiot. Shut up. I've heard the stupidest shit this summer, you guys. It's broken my brain, okay? Clearly not talking to anyone who's actually listening to this. I can't imagine anybody that stupid could possibly manage to listen to my voice because I've just put it out there. And no one that stupid can stand the sound of my vocal codes. Okay, anyways, as I will it, so may it be. Hashtag magic. Hashtag no ingredients necessary. Hashtag no jars necessary. Hashtag no expensive candles necessary. Just fucking declare it to the wind. And let it be so. All right.
Let it be.
Yes, precisely. Sun fork, we've got 126.22 hertz. If you're hearing that, I have no idea what you're going to be hearing, so it's just a mystery, and it's fun.
More than likely, they should definitely be hearing the tone that
Something.
we do. Like,
I'm hoping.
I would think we're hearing the exact same tone.
Got the sun moved in.
This is experimentation.
Experimentation. So, yeah, so, you know, my vision with Witchery U when we started it was to create a place that had, you know, all of these free resources where I could literally teach people how to make money and better their lives for free. And then once they had, like, my whole kind of vision was like the concept of like people being able to come in, you know, find resources that would help them shift into higher levels of reality. I literally wanted like my, you know, I've always had this vision. I love you. I'll see you in a second. I've always had this vision of like my free content being able to make people money so then they can literally learn how to make money from me through my free work for free, right? And then, you know, be able to pay me, right? I thought that was a really cool idea. Thought it was a cool idea, you know? And I've mentioned this before and I just feel it bears repeating. Like, I've never been fought as much as I've been fought about Witchery U. I've never had so many people brush off my work as I have about Witchery U. It's like people just flocked to my reality to make me aware that Witchery U was nothing and I was stupid for even trying to do it. And that was a red flag, and the rebel in me was like, well, now I'm going to do it harder, right? You know what I mean? Because this is something that I've noticed now since 2018 when I first had the idea of doing Witchery U. Everybody that I mentioned this idea to fought me on it. And they had some very good, quote unquote, logical points that made sense, but ultimately eroded at a dream that I had. And this dream was very loud. It was very prevalent. It was very present. And, I tried the whole concept of, doing launches and doing, cohorts and, open, close, this program's going to run for the next 8 weeks and we start on this day and blah, 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 blah. And I found that I never wanted to run the programs again. I've actually, the only one of my courses that I've ever released multiple times that hasn't gone from being a live program to an evergreen is Beginner's Witchcraft, but I never redid Beginner's Witchcraft. I live launched it again, but I never re-recorded it. I never redid it. It was just live dripped. And then, we had like a Facebook group, this was back in like 2018. So yeah, I've literally never repeated a live round of I've never live recorded something twice. I literally cannot repeat my work because I do everything completely on the fly. Even when I have written material and a workbook and, a plan and stuff, it's still, I don't sit down and write every single word. I'd get nothing done. That's work smarter, not harder. Right. And so I know my content. I know my work. I know what I want to say. I know what I'm doing, and that's how I do it. That's what works for me. And I'm very chaos fueled. I'm a very chaos fueled individual. I thrive in chaos, because I don't view chaos as bad. Chaos doesn't mean that I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't mean that I'm just chaotically doing whatever and never finishing anything or XYZ. It means I am the eye of the fucking storm and I wield the storm, and that's just how that works. And I know that about myself. And when I try to not be, the wielder of chaos that I am, it doesn't work out too well for me. So when I try to play according to other people's rules, Freddie, honey, can you not? Thank you. It just doesn't work for me. So, I had this dream of wanting to be able to really make people's lives better. And people fought me on it as hard as they fucking could. I've never been fought this hard on anything, right? And so, this summer, there had been, about last year, about this time, I'd really been gathering a following on Threads, which I now haven't used in months, because I realized that all of these people, they weren't following me for the right reasons. They weren't following me because they actually vibed with what I said. They weren't following me because they were ever going to pay me any money whatsoever. And I don't mean I expected these people to come in and be, 5-figure a month clients, all of them. I mean, it's pretty shocking when you've got 4,000 followers and literally none of them are interested in your work at all. It's really weird, right? And it makes you feel like you're just doing all of this for nothing. No one's ever going to want what you're doing. XYZ, right? Then, there's the fact that literally none of my old clients have been interested in what I've done since. But they'll periodically sometimes send me messages oh, I miss you so much, which is a veiled way of saying, oh, I miss who you used to be, but, you're not her anymore. So, I'm not interested in what you're doing now. Even though you're doing a metric fuck ton, there's no reason to miss me. Just an FYI, if you're an old client listening to this, there's no reason to miss me. I create an insane amount of content. You could be listening to my voice far more than you ever did in anything that I ever did in the old era of Harvest Rose Witchery, right? You could be learning from me for free all the fucking time on my podcast. One of them. You could be paying me $33 or $121 a month, which is far less than anybody ever paid for spell work, and immersing yourself into the world of my work. You could be paying for the Multidimensional Baddie Academy at $1,300 a month and still paying me less than most of these people paid me a month to do spell work for them, but not a fucking single one will. And it's made me feel like crap, if you'd like to know. Just an FYI, right? It's actually been really shitty to watch all of these people watch my stories, lurk in the fucking shadows. I don't know why. I guess they're just interested in what I'm doing. And then send me messages like, oh, I miss you. Oh, I miss who you used to be when I liked you, when I found you interesting, when I actually gave a flying fuck about what you were doing. You know, and then I mention like, they'll mention a problem that they're having or something. And I'm like, oh, well, this is why I created Witchery U. And then they're like, yeah, I'm not interested. Like, they just brush me off. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, well, anyways, let me just go over here and like, whatever, try the same thing I've been trying for a decade that hasn't fucking worked yet. You know? And it's, I legitimately at this point in time, I'm just starting to believe that it's all designed to make me believe that Witchery U is worthless and I should pursue something else. So I'm just not gonna. Right? I'm just not gonna. It just fuels me to get more in alignment with what I'm actually doing and where I'm actually going and who I'm actually talking to and what I'm actually saying. So, you know, we had some people come into Coven of One that were not an aligned fit. They left. Then we just had people sitting in this free network space that I'd created. And I was so proud of my free network space when I got the idea and how I wanted to set up Witchery U and all of the things. You know, it was just called the XOXO network at the beginning because I was kind of like toying with the, you know, idea of completely changing the entire name of the business and the brand, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was in the middle of this rebrand, and so I just kind of gave it like this generic name to just get started, right? And I was so excited with myself, with my idea, with my concept of like, I'm going to teach all of these people all of these things, and then all of our lives are going to get better, and it's going to be really fabulous, and it's going to be really great. And I was the fool. I was the complete fool energy, you know, and I just feel like, you know, it's like all of this bullshit came up out of the, you know, swamp to like kick my ass for that. And I was like, okay, sure. And just kept doing it. And so, you know, over the spring, it really like became apparent to me that there were some people in the free spaces of Witchery U that had no business being there. They were not vibrationally aligned. I didn't feel safe. I felt like it wasn't a safe environment to bring more of my people into, like, energetically. But I just couldn't put my finger on what was going on or, like, even who it was. We had about 130 people in Witchery U, like, in the free space at its height, before we kicked everybody out and closed the doors. And so I started, like, I was like, I gotta figure out what the hell's going on here, right? I've got to figure out who's sus, who's not. Like, I gotta take care of my space. I gotta take care of my people. And then they showed themselves very loudly. And to be honest, it was pretty much all the people that I actually liked that weren't paying me. It was pretty shocking. It was all the people that I liked that were paying me. They all continued to most of them continued to pass the vibe check. A couple of people that weren't paying me also passed the vibe check. And everybody else I realized was just a fucking vessel for the ick, right? Legit. I realized that people who'd been in there for a couple of years that I had talked to like every single day, that I thought we were friends, like were just in there doing what they literally could to harvest my brand and my work and then try to turn it 2 degrees to the left and sell it as their own. And I was absolutely floored. And I didn't find this out until I started finding, people's Instagrams and seeing what they were saying on the internet where they thought no one was watching them. And then the excuses and the gaslighting started. And that was pretty shocking. To have people who are claiming to be spiritual leaders, leaders of New Earth, entrepreneur coaches, and people with high levels of integrity. Oh, they're always going to tell you what high levels of integrity they have and how important ethics are to them. And then they're going to gaslight you, and then they're going to try to blame their repeated thievery of your brand language. Like, I would post something in Witchery U, and here's how I started to tell. Because I would make a post in Witchery U, and I wouldn't put the same language online. I'd make a post in Witchery U, and then I'd watch what these people posted online. And they would literally go out and utilize the same fucking words. It was like they were taking my posts, feeding it into Chat GPT, and then getting Chat GPT to spit some bullshit out. Right? Like mimicking what I was saying in my own fucking private network that I created. I built Witchery U. I built the entire shell of Witchery U. Michael now handles all the back end of it, but I built the original shell of Witchery U. Like, I built the original shell of the website. And then Michael now handles the back end of it. But like, I'm not the most technically adept person, and I worked on that. Like, I have put everything into Witchery U for years now. And I've done it because I believed and still believe in creating this space. And so to have my space invaded by people who were not only stealing every fucking idea that I had, I'd announced that I was going to be recording something for Monetize Your Magic, and suddenly that's the theme of their new masterclass. My entire system was fracturing and breaking apart. I couldn't utilize my own network the way that it was supposed to be used. It was supposed to be like people could come in for free and then they could see how to upgrade their experience, through the various paid avenues of my work, which are extensive. We've got a lot of different options. That's why when people just brush off Witchery U, or when I recommend, some aspect of Witchery U to them and they're like, oh, well, I'll just do a cleansing, it pisses me the fuck off and makes me never want to speak to them again, because I have invested so much of my own time, energy, money, and effort to build this because I genuinely believe that it's important, right? And I want to. It's my work. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And you know what? Those people will never get a cleansing cast by me again. They'll never get spell work cast by me again. I'm done. Spellwork's only reserved for my cosmic royalty level clients, and that's 5 figures a month to work with me at that level. Just an FYI. It's kind of by invitation only. Like, you have to, you can approach me about it, but you have to, it's an entirely different method of working with me than, we're doing like one-to-one spell work used to be. So let's just clear that up. You know what I mean? But it's like, it just really started to feel like this was all nothing but like a very pointed onslaught of attacks. Gonna be honest. This just feels like spiritual attacks after spiritual attacks after spiritual attacks, masquerading as people who might want to be your clients and who are interested in your work, who are here to just make sure that you feel completely worthless about it, right? I needed to chug some Earl Grey, sorry. It happens. So, yeah. I was gaslighting myself about it. I was like, surely these people really aren't doing this. So, because I've got a history of having to prove to myself that people are narcissists and gaslighting me and driving me crazy on purpose in order to get away from them and then heal, I utilized the exact same techniques on these people that I utilized on the fucking, wannabe, like, fake family operates exclusively on cult mechanics that I extracted myself from almost 3 years ago now. I just started saying shit. See how they'd respond. And, the tizzy fits, they started, people. The tizzies started. Especially when I straight up called a person out. Now, this individual was a client of one of the people who, they were both in Witchery U. But this one individual, she'd never bothered to even speak to me. She'd never even bothered to say, hi, thank you so much for creating this fabulous free space. I'm so happy to be here. Didn't say a goddamn word. Never commented on one of my posts in Witchery U, which I was posting pretty much every single day while she was in there. She joined the spring. Actually fell so under the radar that I forgot she was in there and didn't pay her any attention, to be honest. I'm going to be real. Like, I just didn't pay any attention at all. But then, I found out that she had straight up, she was running around using the words multidimensional baddie, thinking that was going to be her new brand. And then magically got her ass handed to her. But I didn't even know that this shit had gone down when the spells kicked in. And she, according to her own words, multiple times had her summer ruined. So I guess don't steal my fucking shit, bitch. Try me, ho! Oh, and if you're listening to this, honey, and you're like, oh, how dare she? I didn't know what you'd done when my magic kicked in and mowed your ass down, so try me again.
Bark, bark, motherfuckers.
Okay? Get some shit straight here. I'm not fucking here to coddle you or make you feel better when you have fucked me over. Okay? So, anyways. She still subscribed to me on YouTube, and I can't remove her. So there's every possibility she might hear this. And I don't give one flying fuck. You shouldn't have stolen my shit. I didn't know this girl existed. I got an image beamed into my head, and I got told where to go on the internet to find out who she was. And when I started reconning, I found her in Witchery U because I didn't even realize she was in there. A bunch of people had kind of joined around the same time. I hadn't really paid any attention. Like I said, she never even bothered to speak to me. And then started stealing my brand language? Are you fucking kidding me? So we kicked her ass out. We banned her from the network, and I called her ass out by name. And this individual, who's her coach, long-term spiritual mentor, by the way, if you're listening to this, honey, your coach and long-term spiritual mentor, didn't even bother mentioning that she knew you. And then tried to gaslight me in a comment on the post about how, like, oh, well, I've used some language similar to yours lately, but I have an open head in human design, and I also work with another mentor who uses... And then she called out the words that she had lifted from my copy. I didn't actually mention this individual. I didn't mention her at all. She just came on my post and called herself out at 10 p.m. at night. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, because I was really sitting here like, no way, right? No way! I didn't even know that this person was her student and client at this moment in time. I just knew that she followed her. That was all. The rabbit hole revealed itself later. And I was like, damn, Rada! And Rada was like, I told you, bitch! Rada sees everything. You can hide it from me, but you can't hide it from my guides, y'all. You don't even know who they is. You think you can hide it from Rada? He's got a team. Those teams have teams. Those teams know people. We have lots of friends. You can't hide shit from my people, and they gonna take care of your ass. But I'm gonna be taking a nap and making like thousands of dollars over here, like peacefully ignorant. And then after it's handled, they're gonna be like, okay, go look this shit up and see what we did. And I'm gonna be like, damn, y'all. Okay, you cannot fuck with me. Try it. Please. Because they'll beam me an image of your face and tell me where to go on the internet to find out who you are. And then I'm gonna laugh. Okay? I'm just gonna laugh. And then you just gonna get your ass handed to you over and over and over and over again in accordance with all the bullshit you've earned as being across time and space. Because I'm real nasty and my wards have got stuff that will fuck you up if you fuck with me. Okay? I'm real nasty when it comes to magic. All right? Because you filthy.
Filthy.
Ooh, you're gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
You're disgusting. Ooh, and you're nasty. That was the theme song. It's Filthy Gorgeous by Scissor Sisters, by the way. That was the theme song of my belly dance company when I was in my early 20s. And I was the one who ran the belly dance company and founded it and like all the things. Taught all the stuff, choreographed everything, did all the costuming, et cetera, et cetera. So that was like my vibe when I was in my early 20s. I'm about to hit 37, y'all. Okay. I'm approaching my late 30s. I'm very excited. These fucking 42-year-old bitches want to try me right now. Try me when I'm 42. I will be even more unhinged. Maybe I'll call their asses out to their faces. I don't know. But that's basically what I did. And so we yeeted those people. And then I had a couple people more like in there that I was still sus of. So I decided to close the spaces. And I basically said, like, if you're not paying, this is no longer a free space. It's only $33 a month. And guess what? None of them joined that option. And we yeeted them all. And Witchery U went down to like 6 people. And me and Michael. And it was saddening for me. I was very sad. Because I used to get up and talk to these people every day and I thought we were friends and they were just using me to mine my content and my work, because all of these people have a fraction of the followers online that I do. All of these people make a fraction of the money that I do. All of these people don't have the level of their own work behind them that I do. They haven't done the things that I've done. And rather than taking all of the knowledge that I so freely give all the time and utilizing it to make that a reality in their own lives, they tried to just steal my shit and thought they could get away with it. And so many people have done that to me over the last 9.5 years. And it never works. It never works out for them. They never get the success that they think they're going to get by stealing my shit. And they usually get their asses handed to them. Because like I said, I've got magic on the entire brand and business. All my brand and language. Every fucking thing. And it's layers on layers on layers. And let me tell you, far more talented people than these idiots have tried to undo it and got their asses handed to them. You can't undo this, okay? I am the best in the world at what I do. And my magical defenses on Harvest Rose Witchery alone prove that. So I got a little depressy after that because I was sad. Because honestly, like I really did think that like I thought these people liked me. You know what I mean? I liked them. You know, I thought they were cool. I thought they were all of these things. I wanted to see them go far and do all of this stuff, and they just wanted to use me, and it was pretty fucked up. You know. Especially from people calling themselves leaders of New Earth and like, oh, and they love to say things like, I can't wait until more money gets in the hands of good people. And I'm like, you? Like you? No, boo. That's not how this is going to work. You're not a good person, first of all. You're a gaslighting piece of shit. And you deserve everything you're about to get. So have fun. Yeah, so there's that. So, this weekend, though, in the Coven of One chat, we have a group chat in Coven of One, because Witchery U has group chat capabilities. And so in some of our spaces, we have group chats and stuff. And they've been a little dead the past couple of weeks. Because I wasn't saying much, and we'd all been kind of going through it, like, in one way or another. Because all these crazy people decided that they wanted to start some shit over this Eclipse because they're convinced that we're out here by living our own timelines. They're convinced that we're stealing theirs. They're convinced that we're stealing their wealth by having our own. Because what they've actually been up to this whole time is trying to steal our shit. Okay? They were trying to steal our timelines. They were trying to steal our clients. They were trying to steal our wealth codes. They were trying to steal any fucking thing they possibly could to attempt to make money and validate themselves because they're all so wounded on the inside, while simultaneously saying, I don't need to do the healing work. I'm not stuck in a healing spiral because I XYZ, right? And then it's always like an upsell for their $2,000 certification program, you know? They're so busy doing that, they can't actually do anything real. And I've noticed that every person who has spent, particularly I've noticed like the last 5 to 7 years doing very real work, they got targeted. Pretty fucked up for the leaders of New Earth. And quite frankly, you should all fucking go be ashamed of yourselves. You are shameful, and you bring shame on every aspect of reality that you touch. Peasant. Shame!
That's worse than a family or a couch.
Huh?
It's a joke I used to hear.
A family or a couch?
Yeah, shame on your family, shame on your couch.
Shame on your couch. Shame on your couch.
Shame on your couch.
Shame on your dining table.
Literally, I used to hear like people used to make jokes about like that.
Shame on your bed.
Shame on your back porch.
I'm sure these people have terribly interesting beds. Not. Oh, I bet that's like two pigs fighting under a blanket, as they say in Steel Magnolias. I'm done. I'm pissy. I'm bitchy. I'm cunty, and I don't give a fuck. Okay, I've had it. I wasn't fucking with nobody. All of these people came out of nowhere, infiltrated my spaces, did fucked up shit, and then what? I'm the bad guy when I'm pissed off? Hell nah, motherfucker. I'm from Texas, bitch. We don't play that kind of game. These little Canadians need to get fucked. No offense to the Canadians or Canada at whole. Just had some bad run-ins with some Canadians this summer. Not as nice, apparently, as they seem. Fake nice shit. Oh, yeah, they're as fucking nice as they can be to your face, but then they fucking stealing your shit behind your back and gaslighting you.
Yep.
Damn. Shit, I guess just because you over the border don't make you automatically not a cunt. I said it. I'm done. I'm pissed and I'm done. Okay? I've had it. I've had it to my limit. I've really had it to my limit. So yeah. This weekend though, we were having a little chit chat in the Coven Lounge, and it just like completely reminded me, of everything I don't want in Witchery U, which was all of those people. It's all of these fakes. And that's what they are. They're nothing but fakes. You will notice these people, every single fucking podcast that they record is like inspirational and also pitching you something. You know what I mean? And while I make all the jokes with like, now at harvestrosewitchery.com, it's like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really pitching you guys on anything. I'm a manifestor in human design, so I inform. Like, yeah, you can work with me. You can get way more of this in a variety of ways. Go check it out. Linksies, descriptionsies. You know what I mean? But, like, I'm really just here to chat. Like, I'm here to have a yap. I'm not here to make a pitch. I'm here to talk. Okay? It's worked out really well for me. This is, like, what fueled all of my altar updates and wax reports. I was here to tell a story about what these spells were doing or about how these spells had burned and what it meant. And those stories were my marketing and worked well for me. And I always felt confined, though, by the time. I always wanted to be able to talk more about the magic and the spells and stuff. And, a podcast would have been a fabulous platform for me back then. But I thought you had to edit everything and, like, be professional and blah, blah, blah. And I'm so fucking sick of that shit. I will never edit anything again unless, like, it's, like, some weird bit that we just need to take out for some reason. Like, It's not happening. Let's hit the bong about it. As I will it, so may it be. Whoa! This is oh, thank you, darling. This is alien rock candy. Look, these people also, I noticed a weird thing. They don't have a lot of connection in their lives. They act like they do. But like, You know, they're proudly telling everybody that they possibly can how disconnected of lives they live from their husbands, their partners, down to like, oh, I do my laundry separately and have ever since we got married. Meanwhile, my husband...
I'm sorry, thanks for why she's drinking. That just doesn't compute with me. Like, what?
My husband, who's not my husband on Earth yet, but one day will be. He's my husband in other locations of reality. He's my multidimensional hubby.
That's right.
My husband, first of all, does all the laundry, and it certainly isn't separate. And literally hands me, like, he's over here handing me my water as I'm recording my podcast. Like, I don't know. I just started to notice, you know, these people all have to live very solo lives. They don't have high levels of connection with, I started to notice, anyone. And that started to ring some red flags, right? Because if you don't know my history, I grew up with a narcissistic, abusive birth giver who I cut off in 2017 and have not spoken to at all and since, and never will again. I'll never speak to the person who was my mother in this incarnation ever again. I also was in 2 emotionally abusive relationships with 2 different levels of narcissist. And then, because I hadn't had enough, I picked up an entire friend group that referred to themselves as a chosen family that was nothing but chock full of magical narcissists who attempted to drive me crazy. So that they could, it seems, siphon and steal my magic, which I'm sure is still continuing to work out really well for them. Probably about as well as stealing my scarab tattoo worked out for that one guy. I heard he had to get a half sleeve to cover it. I hope it hurt. And I'm sure that scarab's just going to continue to wiggle your whole fucking life because, you know, the Antarians, who are actually the reason that I bear the scarab on my right arm, they really hate it when people pretend to be one of theirs. So, sucks to suck, motherfucker. Anyways, so, I have a lot of, you know, and now I'm like, they're so clever, you know, and then they somehow make you think it's your fault that you fall for their bullshit, you know, and really the truth is, like, I'd gotten myself to this very healed state. I had done, you know, I'd gone to trauma therapy for years about my birth giver and my exes, and I'd gotten myself to a very secure, empowered state. And then these people came in, and it took years, you know, it was years of them gaining my trust, me having red flags, and then them addressing it. And they were, I'm going to be honest, these people were fucking master manipulators. Like, I mean, trained in high level negotiation and shit like that, right? They knew what they were doing. And, you know, I'm just stupid and trusting sometimes. Just gonna be real, right? Like, I genuinely want to see the good in everybody. And it's bit me in the ass far more times than I could ever count. And that really sucks, you know? And then they use it against you. Somehow you're the dark one now. Yes, I am, bitch. I'm the queen of the underworld. Fuck you. I am the darkest now. You have never seen darkness the way you shall see darkness from me. Hold on, I gotta hit the bong about it. And then let's also not forget the fact that Michael's narcissistic, alcoholic, emotionally abusive birth giver terrorized us for a year straight while his grandmother was actively dying. And she's also the reason that his birth giver was also the reason that Sally died. By the way, if you didn't know, I never publicly said this. That bitch is the reason my baby died.
Yeah.
Okay? She was drunk and she let her out.
That's year one of 2 years.
2 years straight. This woman terrorized us until we finally got out of Georgia in October of 2023.
And she had been terrorizing me for much longer than that.
A long time. And we have proof of all of this. We have physical audio and video proof of everything she did to us. It's really shocking. We haven't listened or looked at any of it, but we literally got to the point where we were recording every interaction with her. Like, we would hear, because we also lived in the same house as her. She lived in the basement. And so we got to where we were recording every interaction with her because she was gaslighting us 24/7 in these alcoholic fueled rages. And it was, having such a volatile history and having gone through so much trauma therapy to heal from my own 28-year experience with my birth giver, it was a lot, but I had to get him out of there. And we did. Because she was literally she was trying to just destroy all of us as much as she could. I've never seen someone do that, especially for no reason. Like, we genuinely loved this woman. We wanted her to move out of Georgia with us. We wanted to be one big happy family. We were going to create a fabulous life together. We were going to take care of this woman until the day she actually fucking died. Okay? We loved her. And she, every week, formed an onslaught of terror fueled by vodka, and we later found out pills, against us for 2 years straight. It was insane. Okay. So then we get out of Georgia, in October of 2023, and we go on our recruiting mission, and we go digital nomading, and we drive all over the place. We're having a fabulous time and all this shit. But then it was really difficult to, and then we finally, to include having to kick some more people out of our lives that we had trusted, lose some more connections because we started to realize these people were just doing the exact same fucking thing.
Just from a distance. And, and then we get it, we finally, get our apartment last year. A hurricane hits two weeks later. To the day we
move in. And then, to follow that up, the onslaught of the narcissistic, egotistical bitches, business coaches, they roll in. Wannabe business coaches. I'm going to be honest. These people all are so bad at business. It's shocking. I see them with their failed launches every quarter, and or every 3 weeks, or how whatever their frequency is. And it's actually shocking to me how these people can be so bad at making money and so delusional, right? Which is why they have to go after anybody who's actually good at doing what it is that they want to do, because they perceive them as a threat. And then that went on until the middle of the summer. So yeah, I just feel pretty freshly fucked up. It was all women. It was all women.
Yeah. A couple of guys
this time. No, with the business coaches. That was all these feminine embodiment leaders of New Earth. We're here to create a new paradigm and usher in love and light. You a cunt. And that's all there is to it. And you should go out and stop being a cunt before you try to do anything for anybody. Okay? Yeah. It's just a concept. Yeah, really, 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 really shocking. And then finding out how deep this web goes and how all of the crazy fucking psychotic business coaches are somehow connected with the crazy fucking psychotic spiritual influencers, and they're somehow connected with the crazy fucking psychotic business coach leader of New Earth, embodied feminine dragon woman, priestess, alchemist. I created my own modality. Please buy my $2,000 certification program. Oh, look at me. I'm such an ethical person who values integrity so much, but I steal other people's shit 24/7. Literally, you guys, the funniest fucking thing. Since I kicked these people out of Witchery U, they've gone radio silent almost on the internet. They stopped posting what they were posting. They stopped using the language that they were using. They stopped using my brand language. They stopped, for the most part. They stopped launching things. They suddenly don't have any ideas, it seems. And then, but shit, I gave them a little bit. And this last week, one of them was like, I'm launching a new masterclass soon. And I was like, damn, did you find somebody else to siphon off of? I wonder who the fuck it is. I'd like to go warn them. I'd like to go tell them about you. Hey, that person is actually stealing your brand language,
And they did it to me too. And they're going to continue to do that. And whatever pittance that they think is high ticket, but is actually like, just an FYI, $500 is low ticket in my world. So if you think you're a high ticket client and you paid me $500, you're not. That's low ticket in my world. Okay. FYI, we are not the same. I play in a different realm of reality. Yeah, they're just out here and oh my gosh, you guys, common themes. Free master classes, anything free. They love it. They can't get enough of it because they want to go in and siphon everything they possibly can in the freebies. $33 offers. But it has to be a single payment. I've noticed if it's a $33 subscription, oh no, they won't come into a subscription. They will never join your membership. They will never come into a subscription, right? They're going to have their own, but it's going to have some type of strange coding around it. It's going to be like a single one-time payment, or they're always going to be giving it away for, normally this is $33 a month, but, for the next 10 days, you can get it for $11 a month. Just because I want to do so much good in the work. They always have, or in the world, they always have some sort of free academy, and they're obsessed with the word frequency, but they absolutely could not tell you anything scientific about frequency whatsoever. Now, I happen to have a scientist of sound on staff who can. Michael, would you like to just give us some random riff about frequency that's better than what these people say? I know I'm putting you on the spot and you have an undefined throat center, but I believe in you. You can do this. Tell me how do binaural beats work, Michael?
Binaural beats are pretty much the same frequency separated within a just small amount of hertz. We're talking about from anywhere from 0.01. You could go if you have a generator that can do more than just 0.01 and 0.001, then you're talking about more than just a decimal. You're talking about a millimeter. I gotta remember the words. Anyways, so pretty much from that point,
little bits.
Yeah, little, very, very tiny bits.
That's the
of
technical
a
term. Clearly, little bits.
Little bits, all the way up to say 10 to 20 hertz, roughly. And so what that means is that literally, so you're gonna hear the same frequency with a difference between up to 10 to 20 different hertz. So say for example, if I'm using the 300 hertz, right? And then I put in 310 hertz, I've got two frequencies that are super close to each other, right? And if you go lower than that, so say 304 hertz, you're activating specific wave patterns and forms within your brain because of the way that your ears hear them. So you've got 300 hertz in your left ear, 304 hertz in your right ear, starts creating these different patterns. And you start hearing whoop, 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 whoop. It's not exact in they're not the exact same frequency, so it's not going to sound that. It's going to your brain's going to start creating these individual sounds. You're going to hear it differently. And it will trigger certain states of consciousness, certain states of mind. It will put you into a different frequency.
Interesting. So, I'm curious, and this is something I've never said to Michael before, so I'm completely putting him on the spot here. Thank you for playing along.
Yes. And I've hardly ever really researched binaural beats. That's
not the point.
Yeah.
Here's the point. So, from what you've just said, you have two frequencies that are different, but they're very similar.
They're very close. It's just a few hertz off.
Yeah, and so if you play them at the same time, you're going to get a wobble effect audibly. You're going to get some, different waveform patterns are going to be made. And then that would, if you were to view...
Where's the heart chakra one?
If you were to view those waveform patterns, that would provide different grids, right?
Right. So,
okay.
For example, let me even just play this. This is the two different tuning forks, and this may not work because they're going to be very close to each other, so you may or may not hear this, but it's worth a shot at least.
We're experimenting.
Yes, we've got the sun tuning fork, and we've got the heart chakra tuning fork. The sun is 126.22 hertz. The heart chakra is 136.110. It's technically 0.10 hertz. That's only 10 hertz of a difference, right?
Interesting. And you can even see that they're vibrating just slightly differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you even just play...
Yeah.
Your brain starts like your ears. You
So
start
it creates
hearing.
so I can literally see the patterns that it creates when he put it. So he dinged them and then stuck them right up next to my ears, and I can see the waveform patterns that I was getting, and it was basically creating like this weaving of the frequencies back and forth together. It's like it was really cool how they were kind of like weaving back and forth together in this elongated. What would almost kind of like if you were to take like the eye of a Vesica Pisces and then you were to turn it on its side and then you were to kind of turn that into like swinging frequency lines. That's kind of what I just saw in my head, right? So how do you think we could take this and utilize it? So something that I've noticed with all of these people, all these crazy fucking wannabe business coaches and these spiritual entrepreneurs, they are all mimicking someone else.
Yeah.
Right? They're all utilizing someone else's brand language, or they're all utilizing knowledge that's been taught from other people. They're all trying to say, oh, these ancient Egyptian practices, but then when you get into it, there's actually nothing ancient Egyptian about it, and they can't even tell you the 7 stages of alchemy. No. They don't know what an alembic is. None of it, right? So I've noticed that a lot of these people, though, you know, and it's a variety of things. And I've noticed that this phenomenon, this is not just localized to me, okay? I've talked to so many practitioners who were very active in Akashic Records, circles, witchcraft, priestess lineages, things like that, who were actual legit practitioners and people who are doing very innovative, very unique work, right? Things that you cannot Google. And that's what I mean by that. If I can Google it and I can find exactly where you got your fucking information that you're trying to charge me $2,000 for, I'm going to assume that you're fake and you're faking and you're just somebody who siphons bits off of other people's stuff and tries to sell it. If I try to Google your work and you're the only source that I can find for this work, but it's got lineage ties into other sources that I'm familiar with, I'm like, that one right there. That's unique. That's called intellectual property. Some of these people desperately need to look up what it means and the fact that the theft of it is illegal. So doing your own work, doing things that no one else has ever done or that you've never heard people talk about before is the only way going forward. It's got to be very unique and hyper specific to your specialties. If you're just out here like, why is it not working? You know, I'm doing all of these things, but all you're doing is talking about stuff that other people have talked about 9 million times in the same way that people have talked about it, you're not going to be successful in this new grid. It is designed to eat you. Okay? It's literally designed to eat the ick. It's a filth eater grid. The new business grid of Earth is a filth eater. It is fueled by eating the ick. It's fueled in other ways too, but as we get it up and running, its first fueling section is fueled. It's like, give it to me. Come on, give it to me.
Come on, give it to me.
You know what I mean? Like, it really is. It's designed to eat this shit. So if you feel like you're screaming into the void right now, I would probably examine how you sound like everybody else out there right now. It's not enough to just show up and share anymore. You need to show up and share you. And it has to be specifically you. And just being like, oh, but these are my thoughts on this thing. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not enough. It's not enough anymore. Because so was everybody else. But they weren't actually sharing their thoughts on it. Because this stuff has been so regurgitated. There are no original thoughts on it right now. Right? So you need to get very specific with how you're doing what you're doing and how it's the way that only you can do it. Right? And if what you're doing looks like other people, that's not the way that only you can do it. And that doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means that you need to tap in to what makes you more. And that's your missing bit. And that's really cool because that means that's very easy to fix. If your main missing bit in your work is tapping into the way that only you can do it,
and that's your only obstacle, you're leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else. But the more that you try to be like everybody else for acceptance and validation, the more you're going to see failure enter your reality, because that's how this business grid is coded to work, because that's what they were all doing. We had to stop them. All we're asking for is something original. That's it. That's all. Just do something original. Do something original, okay? If, like, there's just so much right now that is just regurgitated crap, and people are so bored and fatigued by it. And that's really what it is. It's not that what you're doing isn't good enough. It's that everybody in the world's heard it 9 million times. There's 10 billion people out there doing eclipse readings. Doesn't stand out. So people just scroll on past because everyone's so fatigued right now. They don't have the energy to pay attention to what makes yours special if you're not telling them. And if you're not exemplifying it in a way that is so recognizable and unignorable that they have to go, wait a second, this is wild. I got to look at this for a minute. Right? Everybody tried to tune into how to stop the scroll, but nobody ever bothered to just do something weird enough to stop the scroll. What does weird mean? Controller of fate. A controller of timelines, maybe? A wielder of reality? What weird means? Out of the normal. Out of the matrix. Out of the same old, same old. And so people tried to do shock value. They tried to do manipulation. They tried to do all this different stuff. Stuff that is like, I saw a dragon woman priestess, solar feminine priestess, alchemist, Akashic records, guide, leader of leaders, bullshit. All of those words having actual real lineage and meaning, but not the fucking way she's using them. All of her copy, she's clearly at the end of a launch. All of her copy was the most manipulative, borderline psychologically abusive bullshit I've ever seen in my life, coming out of someone who's telling you that they're a guide of guides of magical people, and this is why you should listen to them. And then we wonder why people are feeling the cray-cray on the rise. It's because the cray-cray has gone out and declared itself spiritual leaders, and this reminds us of when they all did this exact thing in Lemurian Atlantis. Oh shit, it all goes back to the Lemurian Atlantis fall. That was good. Fist bump that. We did not. That was pure improv, babies. Okay? I need you to know all of this. We make it up as we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tea time. Hold on. Hydrate thyself. So, yeah. Fun facts I'd love to share, because clearly this is just going to be our multidimensional Baddie Eclipse Debrief podcast episode. Obvi. See, when you're all like up in your shit about like, oh my God, I don't know what to do this for, just fucking hit record and make something happen. You'll figure it out as you're going. You don't have to be perfect. The perfectionism's getting eaten by the new business grid. Oh, yeah, the new business grid is coded to eat your perfectionism. You got to give it up. Make the sacrifice. We love a sacrifice. Come on, give it to me. Yeah. The new business grid wants some fucking sacrifices, like it's 800 BC, okay? And those sacrifices are your perfectionism, your bullshit, all those people who are out there fucking around and need to find out. Yeah, the new business grid wants you to feed it their names. Tell the new business grid who has wronged you. Make a sacrifice, an energetic sacrifice to the new business grid and the new wealth grids of planet Earth Terra location. If you fucking with Gaia, that's a different planet, and we don't do that here. Thank you. And I will explain more later, but if you know, you already know, and you're like, ooh, hells yeah. And if not, I think you need to see yourself out. Okay. I have reasons, I know things. And all these people are obsessed with getting people possessed with the power of Gaia. Have you ever noticed that? Channel Gaia into your embodied form and you will find yourself also a spiritual business coach just like me. Yeah, they all trying to get people possessed. I guess I'm telling you now. They all trying to get people possessed by this spirit called Gaia, which is not the planet we're currently on. The planet we're currently on is Terra-coded and does not go by the name Gaia and gets really pissed when you call her that. Try it. See what happens in your area. I'd love to know. Just saying. She feisty, okay? Earth's had it too. Earth's fucking done with this shit. Yes, Michael's doing some solar tuning right now. You solar tune and I lunar tune. Lunar tunes, by the way. That was lunar tuning, not anything that might be trademarked. Lunar, like the moon. Look it up, sweaty. Lunar tuning. I'm just being a Menage tonight. That's all this is. This is Menage 101. Eclipses bring out the shadows, and I'm here for that. So, yeah. I've really been realizing that, one real missing thing I think is like, we were having this little chitty chat in the Coven of One group chat in the Coven Lounge, and it was just great. It was like everything I needed in that moment. And I realized, one of the biggest reasons with why I've designed Witchery U the way that I have has been so that people can join at any time, so that people can come in. They can access a ton of content. We add new content all the time. And so that they can also connect with other people. And one of the things that has been probably the biggest issue for me is like the people in Coven of One right now, like I feel very safe with these people. I've never physically met any of them in person. But I feel very safe energetically with them. I recognize them. They feel like home to me. And so when I was thinking about this afternoon before I took my nap, I was thinking about like, like one of the blockages that I've had with, I've been really repelling people from joining Witchery U because I'm very traumatized right now from people who joined Witchery U, but not Coven of One, not Monetize Your Magic, not Luxury Witch Lifestyle. We just launched Multidimensional Baddie Academy, which is the all-inclusive option for you get access to everything in Witchery U. It's at the level 1 stage, which is everything that we have available right now. We do have plans to add other stuff later, so that'll be additional options for Witchery U later in the coming years. But this is our setup for this current academic season. And if you're curious to know more about that, you can listen to the almost 3-hour-long academic season free-for-all where I tell you all about Witchery U and what all of it is and what we're doing and all the vibes and everything. But one thing that I've just really been tuning into, it's like a few episodes behind this one, I think like maybe 2 or 3. But one thing that I think is like, it's very prevalent for me is like, I want to be able to connect with, I don't want, I built Witchery U to be limitlessly scalable. There is no limit to how many people we can have in every aspect of Witchery U. It can easily make 9 figures a year. I'm going to be honest. Like, I've done the math. I've done the theoretical math. I love theoretical math in business especially. And it's there. The concept's there. I've built it to be infinitely scalable. As many people as we want can come in. That's, we can have as many different spaces in Witchery U as we want, as many different options for different ways that people can join, different ways we can set up, kind of the same content in different spaces to create more avenues for people to come into Witchery U. What we're doing this year is just kind of the beginning still. So Witchery U is a very long game project for me as well. I think she'll be really rolling by the time she's 10. But I realized, like, I was having such a fun time. I was going in and individually replying while I was recording the Eclipse episode last night. The Covens were talking amongst themselves, and that was really great. I love that I can not be online and they can still connect and talk to each other. And it was just like today, I was like, I manifested this. Like, I literally sent them a message, and I was like, I hope you guys know that the conversation in here for the last day. And I don't know where else you can get a conversation like this for $222 a month. I'm going to be honest. But like, you have to be I've learned people have to be the vibe check. Like, people literally cannot check out on my website if they are not part of our people. If they're not part of, like, our people, they can't come in, because this is not a closed practice. This is a closed group. This is a secret fucking society. And if you don't have a pre-incarnational contract with, like, all of us at this point, Witchery U's not going to let you in. Like, the energetic shielding on Witchery U is so bamf. She's not going to let you in. Like, we all know each other from across space and time. We all recognize each other. And I'm not interested in people who are like, all these people also tried to be like, oh, I know you from Andromeda. All the fakes, right? And I was like, no, you don't. Because they all tried to say they knew me from the Andromedan universe. And I was like, yeah, I just asked if you've ever been through that portal. And they were like, like, the portals are all laughing their asses off when I, like, feed them the vibrational signature of the individual. Honey, we don't work by names. I just need one little whiff of your energy signature, and I'm going to be broadcasting that to every multidimensional contact I have. Like, give me the dates. Come on, give it to me. It's going to be great, right? It happens all the time. And if we don't know, we know somebody who knows, because we know everybody, okay? I can, like, feel my scarab is like, ooh, I feel the Antarians coming in. My scarab's like, hello. It's like giving a little tingle. All my tattoos are enchanted. Thank you. I got them for a reason. They're portals. It's art. Thanks. All my tattoos are also, most of them. I don't want to say all of them. Most of them were, because some of them are 3 of 4 or 5. 5 of them are pre-established magical symbols from a couple of different locations. And then the rest, though, my scarab tattoo, the cross torches and key in the back, in the middle of my back, I have that with, like, 2 snakes entwined underneath it. That one was custom drawn for me. My tree was custom drawn for me. My scarab was all, like, blends, because I would be like, I like this part of this one, and I like this part of this one, and I like this part of this one, and I like this part of this one. And then my artist was an actual artist, so she would take her artistic skills and, like, she would take what I liked from the inspiration pics that I showed her, and then she would create something custom for me. So, yeah. It was fun. She'd always play Marilyn Manson or Snoop Dogg during my tattoo sessions, and she was a belly dancer, and so we'd just gossip while she tattooed me, and it was great. One time, when she did the one in the middle of my spine, a demon was trying to break in the back door, and she did not pick stuff up like that, and she was like, bro, what the fuck's at the back door? She was like, I feel it, and so I'm getting my spine tattooed, fighting a demon on the astral plane, as one does. It was very Aldebarani, I'm shirtless. Nobody else is in this tattoo shop, though. It was great. It was on a Sunday, too, to make it even better. Yeah, so it's like cross torches, and then I have a skeleton key in the middle, a triple moon over the top of that, and then 2 snakes intertwined. They're intertwined, though, like, they're woven together, they're not like eating each other or anything. But anyway, so that's how I got my
friends.
They're friends. Yeah, friends of magic.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
I love the way that the tuning forks, if you actually you have to hold it just right. It's not touching your skin. If you have your hand coupled around it, you can literally feel the entire vibration in your hand.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like you have to just like you have to cup it and like just keep it as close as possible without it actually interfering with the skin.
Your skin makes a bowl. I suppose it's really your whole hand, but
Yeah, literally.
your vessel is now a bowl. I'm a sound bowl. Oh my god. I'm the sound bowl.
Yeah.
I'm a crystal bowl. I have crystals in my brain.
Actually, yes, we do.
I'm the sound bowl, guys. Oh my god. Wow, that's so cool.
Just careful how we ding you.
Oh, I'm going to make so many jokes about this in the future. They're percolating. Just wait for it. I'm a little too tired. I had to go take a nap after these bitches Eclipse shit because they really thought they were doing something. So last night, fun fact. So a lot of people have reported that, yes, the Akashic Records and those two words, big domain of the ick right now. Yeah, they're really not. So first of all, I'd like to preface this with saying that what is commonly referred to as the Akashic Records is actually a network of what I refer to as a variety of halls of records. And every individual has their own halls of records, and then there are collective halls of records, and then there's planetary collective records. There's solar system collective records. There's I think I just put something together. There's universal collective records, and then there's different levels of that as well. And then when you get into part of the Andromedan universe has very significant, massive, macro halls of records that keep all kinds of data in there. And then a variety of interdimensional specialties, including archivists, trackers, architects, other specialties, like soul surgeons, for example, or any type of multidimensional, healing specialty, reality coders, things like that. They all utilize certain levels of access to different halls of records based on where they're located at that moment in time, what they're doing, what they're working on, we all tend to have more kind of solo projects that we're working on. We have more group projects that we're working on. We have different projects that we're working on in different moments and time and space that overlap with each other. So when we tune in to working with our own covens of one, which is ourselves across time and space, it's connecting with yourself across and beyond time and space so that you can know what you're doing across time and space and access knowledge that you have across time and space and weave that into the totality of your experience now in this incarnational experience that we're having on Earth for some reason. Anyways, so that you can really fully express who you are as one being, as a coven of one, right? It's you don't even need other people. You're your own coven because you are so much of a multidimensional baddie across time and space. There's so many of you. You could just hang out and have a dance party with yourself. I sick 200,000 of me on this chick. It was somebody else entirely that literally used to live next door and decided to fuck around, and she found out. There's some weird shit in the next door apartment. I don't know. There's a portal to something in there. It's weird. Anyways, this chick went crazy and decided she was going to take it out on me and Michael, and we were we don't even know you, and I just had it up to here, and so I just kind of summoned all my selves, and she left. Didn't hear anything from her ever since, and was she looked like she'd had 200,000 of me sicked on her on the weekend too. And then she was moved out, and she caused no more issues. So woohoo!
Yeah.
Anyways, so
yeah, there's so many yous and you have so much knowledge. And so if you're over here like, I don't know what to do, like, have you tried asking another version of you? You can just do that right now. You don't even have to join a covenant of, like, you don't have to join Coven of One. I'm giving you the codes right now. Just be like, yo, Maze. Wait, do we have an opinion on this? That's what I would like you to say. Yo, Maze. Come on, say it with me. Yo, Maze. Do we have an opinion on... Say the thing now. I bet half of you just said, say the thing now. Okay, now say what you'd like to say. And then, just kind of see, like, let's take a second. I'm going to take a bong hit. Michael's going to do some tuning. Ask yourselves a question live with me right now. Ask yourselves a question. And then see what yourselves have to say and see if any yous in particular pop through who would like to offer guidance on this situation for you, by you, with you, of you, right now. Ding. I had some very chaos code things to say. If you'd like to pause me and continue having a conversation with yourself, please feel free for a second. Okay, now you're back. So, or you didn't pause me, but you're having a little giggle. Either way, we're having a good time. So do you see how when you stop talking to cunts, all of a sudden your frequency changes? Yeah. And you start having fun and you start doing things and you start experimenting and you start running ideas up the flagpole and you start testing little things out and you start tuning into stuff and you start... Yeah, so anyways, I came in with some chaos codes and first I was like, they bitches! I was like, they were bitches. And then another version of me was like, and that's exactly who we're never talking to again. And I was like, word. And then there was some other stuff going on. I can't really remember it, to be honest. It all happened real fast. Then we had a little dance party. And I have like a very holographic, like, inner vision of myself. Like, I've literally had moments where I had experiences, particularly about 3.5 years ago. It was right after I got to Georgia. And I could actually see, like, all of these different versions of myself, like, fractals, almost, but not fractals. They're entire ass versions of me. But I could see, but they're all me, right? And I could see, it's me in the 1970s in New York City. It's me in the 1920s in New Orleans. It's me in the 1910s in London. It's me in 1905 in Asheville, North Carolina. It's me in 852 BCE. It's me in 454 BCE. It's me in 354 CE. It's me in a completely different calculation of time. Chilling in Arcturus at the ballet. It's me doing a whole bunch of different stuff in completely different moments in time in Arcturus. Then it's me over here, and I'm vibing in Sirius. And then it's me over here, and I'm tuning some shit in Andromeda. And then it's me over here, and I'm clearly matchmaking via introducing two fabulous collectives of multidimensional baddies together. If two civilizations are not getting along on an alien planet, okay, I've got this located in my memories and I tuned into it and I'd like to share it with you. If you've got a civilization over here and a civilization over here and they're not getting along and maybe some terseness is happening, have you tried setting them up on a mass date? You know what I mean? Just introduce them. Just, hey, no pressure. Everybody. We just want you to get to know your neighbors. We want you guys to hang out. And then you bring the heat, okay, people? And by that, I mean you're bringing the vibes. You're bringing the hors d'oeuvres. You're bringing the charcuterie. The interdimensional Ipthosian champagne, it is a-flowing. The ascended frequencies, they are a-playing. The incense is incensing. The hookahs are hookahing, okay? The vibes are vibing. You've got comfortable seating. People are relaxing. They're talking. They're getting to know each other. They're getting another plate of Syrian barbecue, okay? Let's go. You know, like, you set this up. You might find that, the two groups have far more in common than they think, even if they have a language barrier. Even if it seems like they're not elementally inclined, okay? I once did some matchmaking with a definite, more fire-based group and a more kind of twig-based group. And you'd think, how would copulation ever happen? But you know what? Baddie's gonna baddie. And when they lock eyes from across the room and sparks fly, literally, all I'm gonna say is we learned that sometimes making it rain and then stopping that rain and then making it rain in a different way was the answer and the vibe, okay? I think if you know, you know, and that's how the Namkawe were born. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm their grandma. So I adopted all of them because I'm like, well, you're my kids now. It's like the Cullens, so they're all together. I'm actually Dr. Cullen, and Michael would be Esme. One year we should actually just dress up.
Oh, we got it.
As Carlisle, but I'm gonna be Carlisle.
Yeah.
And you gotta be Esme. Okay.
I'll do it. Fun fact. I had only heard the name Esme prior, and I mean like a year or two prior to the movie, the first movie ever coming out, because it was a local band that I knew.
Really?
Yeah, it was a band called Esme, and I loved them. Like at the time, I was huge about them.
Nifty.
Yeah.
So, I just had a thought. To go back to my earlier concept where you were playing our binaural beats and gave us that fabulous little binaural beats
Yes.
class section.
There's theta, delta, gamma, and beta waves that your brain creates depending on the separation of hertz, meaning like is it 2 hertz, is it 4 hertz, is it 10, is it blah blah blah.
That we know of.
Yes, and that's
So
just
here's
the
my
first
point.
4
So here's
I
my
can tell
point.
you.
I want to run an idea up the flagpole.
Okay.
I want to toss it out there. You can feel free. You can toss it right back. I'm only
Playing ball.
That's a micro quote from Anchorman. I don't know why that was so. It was just like that was the thing of the moment when I was like, I guess in my formative years, and it got embedded in my brain. Like all the quotes from Anchorman for some reason are like embedded in my brain. Anyways, so I'll go to series about it. It's fine. I'm kidding. It's fun. So my thought pattern here was, all of these people are mimicking someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's go back to the ick for 2 seconds because I got a point. And it's about the grid wars. Oh, shit.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun.
My thought process is if I'm a frequency, and my work's a frequency, and say that me and my work were creating a grid, right?
Okay.
Because that's exactly what's happening. Every single person who listens to this podcast episode is creating a grid point on the planet for my magic to spread.
Right.
Right? Every person who clicks on the Harvest Rose Witchery website is forming a grid point anchored in the physical form for the grid of my magic or the web of my magic to spread. Every single person who looks at my stuff, all of the things, they're forming grid points. Right? So, what if you had people, beings, energies, whatever, out there who didn't want those grid points to form? Mm-hmm. So then they need people to go out And so it's like, but how are you going to dismantle that grid? You can't stop that person from talking. You can't stop that person from, you know what I mean? Like, you can only shut me down so much.
Right.
I can still form somewhat of a grid. And maybe my grid's really strong with only like 3 or 4 points on it. Because maybe those points are like baddies. You know what I mean? Well, we've got more than 3 or 4 that we're well aware of people who are really holding and, you know, holding a lot of energy, holding a lot of codes, doing a lot of stuff, right? So one, what if it's less about, you know, oh, I have to create all of these points on my grid, and more, I have to create really big points. Like, how many major cities do you actually need versus how many small towns are there? But on a demographics map, those small towns might obliterate those big cities.
Yeah.
With volume. Right? But when it comes to power and localized power, right? Then you've got more.
Right.
So, one, being able to spread out major points in your grid and micro points in your grid is very important. This is why I say that, like, people who listen to every single podcast episode but never pay you a dime are integral parts of your brand. And, you know, I love knowing who those people are. Like, back in the day, you know, it used to be people, you know, commenting on my Instagram or whatever. There were a lot of people. We would support each other. They were an integral part of that web building and growing. You know, when you share someone's post to your stories and then your people see it, you know, that creates additional points for your grid of magic to anchor in on the physical realm, right? And it doesn't have to be, you know, interdimensional math and interdimensional economics don't just function on dollar bills, right? So we actually function predominantly on grid points and anchored grid points, which just means a physical world interaction with some point of the grid. So like every single stream that Michael gets is a grid anchor point on the physical plane of existence for his grid of magic, right?
Right.
And I'll be talking more about this, and I do talk more about this in Business in 7D, but this is a lot of the stuff that's been kind of downloading over the summer for Business in 7D, which is in Monetize Your Magic. Because 7D is a portal range, so if you go to 7D, you can do business in literally any dimension of reality. So it's not like, oh, ascend to 7D, and then you can come to New Earth with us. No, 7D is a portal range, and it's a macroversal portal range. 5D is not a macroversal portal range. 5D is actually a portal range that is localized to what we call this cosmolocal region, or this universe, which is pretty much only the locations that you find in cosmic astrology. Thank you. It's a regional airport versus an international airport. Okay.
It's not just Earth, y'all.
Yeah. So 5D is like a regional airport and 7D is like an international airport. Okay. We've gotten that cleared up. Cool. So come to 5D and live here. It's great. They're trying to get you to go live in the goddamn airport. Stop. Unless you want to. I mean, I've lived at the airport too. But predominantly, we're not really going to live at the airport. Okay, I mean, I've actually never lived at the airport. Well, no, we did. We lived right next to an airport for 5 days.
Yeah.
In Charlotte. And it was rough, y'all. The walls
really rough.
shook 24/7. We got like 5 hours a night that the walls weren't shaking for at least, you know, once every 30 minutes.
It's called Don't.
It's called Don't.
It's called Don't.
Don't do it. The walls are
do
going to be
it.
shaking all the time. Don't live at the airport, okay?
If you live at the airport, you're recreating a Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah, don't do it. We don't live in airport locations, okay?
Nay.
We don't live we're not actually supposed to be living in portal zones because they're unless you're like, I'm a portal architect, so sometimes when some portals go haywire, I have to go live on the ground for long enough to fix the portals, and that could take a year plus sometimes, right? Which is kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm living in a portal zone because I'm a portal architect, and I am actively fixing some shit interdimensionally because I'm very it's a very tapped in location here. So I can access a wide variety of interuniversal locales. because it's not about the portals that I'm working on so much on the physical plane as it's more about the portals on the interdimensional planes of existence that I can access when I'm in this physical location, right? We did have a couple, well, it was more of a time rift that was going on, and that's something that I've been working on fixing. So you don't want an open time rift in the middle of a busy tourist area, honestly. But there has been one at Ski Central, North Carolina. So, been doing that too. Had the whole Arcturian architect team. We've been working round the fucking clock, y'all. Whew! The Arcturian architects are badasses, okay? They can fight anything and simultaneously code anything and simultaneously, like, they wild. Throw a party about it. And then you're going to get some crazy grids, okay? I love their grids. They're great. I love them. I mean, I should. I train them, so there's that. And I was one of the many people. We had many people who trained the Arcturian architect teams for these little Earth projects we're currently doing, but I definitely had a big hand in choosing trainers for them as well, because they're kind of my babies. And I love them. Well, now I'm smiling and happy. My chaos babies, really. We thrive in the chaos. What can we say? We're almost done with the alien rock candy. Would you like some, darling?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I smoked it. It was pretty good, but I'm feeling a little jacked up on Mountain Dew. I didn't think it was a sativa.
It says it's an indica.
I know, but it's like, I feel like I'm like, well, jacked up on Mountain Dew now. It's good to process things and let things live outside of you and to say things that occurred and to let yourself speak truth, because the more that you speak your truth, the more that you speak, these people might have a completely different version of reality, but the truth is, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And they do. The individual that I mentioned who came in, and I didn't even mention her name, and she came in and started defending herself and gaslighting me. The day after we kicked her out of Witchery U, she was posting about how, jealous people and haters and people who were threatened by her power were always going to perceive her as XYZ, but that was their problem, not hers. And I was like, bitch, you hired me. Like, you know what? I'm not, you have no aspect of your reality. And you do your laundry separate from your husband's. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Like, you have no aspect of your reality that I want to be living. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely no aspect of this individual's reality aligns with something that I aspire to. I've already been far more successful. I'm going to be honest. I'm younger than her. I've done a lot more than her at this moment in my life versus where she's at in her life. And I assume that there was probably some jealousy there. Gonna be honest. I just went really hard in my 20s, and I've pursued every dream I've ever had, balls to the wall, because I felt like I owed it to myself, because nobody was gonna live my dreams for me. Nobody was gonna come to Earth and live my dreams for me. That was up to me, right? And so this takes me back to my Grid Wars concept, right? I think these people are literally coming in, and it's like they're trying to get... It's like they're... So I'm curious, and I don't have the answer to this question, but I'm curious, what would happen if you had, two frequencies that were maybe, just a disresonant amount off, they're just enough to create a disresonant wobble. You see what I mean? Rather than binaural beats being like a resonant wobble. Mm-hmm. How do you create a disresonant wobble? between frequencies that are, maybe if you've got a frequency that's, would that be and I'm just throwing out random shit. I don't know what I'm saying, okay? So I'm just tossing out stuff. Could you do that by decreasing the frequency, by increasing the frequency of the original? So you'd have, maybe like, the sun's the original frequency, right? And then the heart is the mimic frequency.
Yes.
These just happen to be the two tuning forks I have in my hand, right? So the sun's the original and the heart's the one that's trying to come in. So the sun, every time I ding the sun tuning fork, it's creating a vibrational grid, right? Because it's creating these waveform patterns, which is what a grid is waveform patterns. So then I ding the heart one, right? And then the heart one comes in and it's trying to overtake the sun, right? So then it's using its grid. Now, these are tuning forks, clearly. This is not what's happening. But imagine that these were individuals. The sun is an individual who's just out here dinging its magic. And then you have the heart chakra tuning fork. And it comes along and it's like, I'm going to be louder than you and I'm going to take you over. Well, they end up canceling themselves out if you put them together, right?
Yeah.
If you try to if one actually tries to completely just take the other one over, they're both going to stop vibrating.
Yes.
So you can't do that. Because I've been hearing this interdimensional chatter for a minute that they haven't given me the full tea on, but they've talked about the frequency wars. They've talked about the grid wars. They've talked about different war realities for this universe, potentially others, I'm not sure, that focused on frequency, grids, but they seem to have been slightly different. The frequency wars seem to have been slightly different than the grid wars. And the people who specialized in frequency warfare seem to have been slightly different than people who specialized in grid warfare. You see where I'm going with this? They're wannabe Arcturians, and then the frequency war people are wannabe Syrians. Boom, done. Thank you. Come again. But then, scientifically, I'm curious if you were to look at this, right? Because I think what they're doing is they're trying to make their grids stronger than ours. They're trying to overlay their grids onto ours.
Right.
Right? So then what could we do about this? You see? I'm trying to troubleshoot it before we even know what the problem is. The Arcturian architects are like, hells yeah. That's mom right there. Yeah. Right, babies, I am. I'm about to say some shit. We about to spill some tea. It's happening. And I'm going to drink some tea first, though. And this can be a concept that we percolate on for a while.
I need to percolate on this.
I love it.
I have some ideas.
I love it. And I would like everybody listening to percolate on this. And if you're not already in Witchery U, I'd like you to come join Basic. If you've got ideas, I'd like you to come join Basic Witchery at $33 a month. And I'd like you to come in and I'd like you to share those ideas with us. And I'd like us all to figure this out collectively. If you're in alignment and you know us. If you don't fucking even try. Witchery U won't let you in. Don't even click the link. Click the link in the description below if you can. I'm no longer doing call to actions. I'm doing calls to chaos. Okay? You don't like chaos? I don't like you. How about that? So yeah, I'm just thinking that like I'm onto something because these people all like literally, one of these people said, and I quote, I was doing grid work on a client's chakras. And I was like, that's not how that works. Now, yes, chakras do have grids. I've even got some drawn in my sketchbooks. So we can map grids for people's chakras. And you could absolutely do that. I'm sure that there's somebody out there. I'm sure that there's a whole bunch of people out there, to be honest, who probably do frequency mapping of chakras at different points in, I would assume, some sort of multidimensional patient's experience to see what's going on with them, to see different pockets of things. That's a pretty cool idea. You wouldn't even have to do like a full-size grid. You know, I'm thinking like, well, this is something I could test. I could do like a little micro grid. And I could do a page of microgrids, like, you know, what are my chakras like today? And then I could just do like a little, that's a fun little thing. I'm going to do that. We're
totally going to try that. So yeah, like do a little, do like a little art exploration of what your chakra system's feeling like on a daily basis. And then you can track some things because you'll literally, write the date on it, please. You always want to write the date on it. But then you could track some things about, your energy systems, fluctuations, things that were going on, et cetera, et cetera. So that is a factor. Doing grid work on a chakra system, one would be a highly specialized thing that someone would want to do. Like, oh my God, there was this rash of people. Dear God, if you got your timelines pruned, if you got your timelines smashed, turned inside out, broken into 1,000 pieces, and then smashed again because some idiot told you that that's how you clear yourself of like your abusive ex, please. Good Lord in heaven, you need to get your timelines fixed. That's not how that works, okay? People are out here pruning off people's timelines so they can try to steal part of their timeline, part of their literal timelines. Something in that, bit of time is something that they want, so they're trying to steal it. Not realizing that that's not how that works, but it will cause massive energetic flow issues in people's actual... Oh, in their grids. It does affect how their grids are flowing because you have your own personal like grid systems, right? So like I'm currently working on a book for myself that's called The Recalibration of One Fabulous Elena Rose Domain. And it's an entire series of grids for myself about this kind of like personal recalibration I'm experiencing that I've also... It's like I've already experienced the recalibration that I'm currently going through in the physical form. I've already experienced that on a multidimensional level, like on more of like a macro level. But it's like I'm experiencing it in the physical form on Earth now. So it's like it's anchoring it in for a variety of me's across time and space on micro levels. And then on macro levels, the small and the big, the individual and the higher self, would also be like a different way to kind of like, explain it, like the more individual incarnational expression versus the higher self of the all of the self. You see? So I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Grid Wars. Yes. So I think, so they're all like obsessed with doing grid work though in completely incorrect ways. They all talk about being grid workers. They're over here doing grid work on chakras though that like doesn't make sense because that's not what this chick was talking about. She was like, I was doing some grid work on a chakra, but then like she couldn't say anything else about it because I even saw somebody ask her like something else about it and she couldn't follow up with that, and I was like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. As I'm literally over here drawing, like, I've drawn 23 or 24 grids in the last 4 days now. So the numbers went up after I recorded last night by like 6 grids, I think. 5 or 6 grids total. I think I've done 1 or 2 today, and I did 3 or 5 last night. I can't remember. I've stopped counting at this point. I can't keep count anymore, but I've drawn over, I think we're nearing 300 plus grids in 18 months now. So I have a very in-depth perception for how, and a huge variety of grids. I've got everything from how like master chakra flow grids are supposed to work to time grids to master coding grids for like Hydra, Antares, Earth's new master grid. I got everything, y'all. And still so many grids to do. Oh, so many grids to go. Oh, I love my grids. And they tell me so much. It's fabulous. So I just feel like, these people are basically trying to create a grid that mimics another individual or maybe multiple individuals, right? They're trying to, weave multiple individuals' grids into one grid for themselves, thinking that that's going to work and that's not going to work, right? And it's just creating kind of basically like grid junk. It's like space junk, but with the grids.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's why they said it was going to be like 2020. So fucking hell.
That's a lot of frequencies.
Oh,
overlaying
yay.
each other, though.
Oh, but I had so much fun clearing all the collapse timelines for Earth. I'm just going to go collapse all those shitty little grids and then clear them.
You know what?
If I can clear planetary, if I can clear planetary grids in the middle of a global pandemic, I think I can clear them because these grids are collapsed. It's like I'm not going to go in and collapse anything that's not these. It's a house of cards. This shit's never going to work. It's not working. It's not anchored. It's not real, and it's not theirs to have. It's stolen shit. And that's actually what's going on. They've already been collapsed. These grids are collapsed. That's why there's so much noise. That's why these people are fighting so loudly to try to drown us out. Their grids are collapsed and they know it. They know they can't work these grids. They know these grids are never going to work. It's like I just got all the information. I mean, ask and you shall receive. It's instant.
It's like white noise. It's literally
it's
like
white noise at this point.
Yeah, because
it's
literally,
just noise. It's feedback loops. It's constant just feedback loops and noise.
Yeah. And it doesn't end until literally it stops.
Okay.
Literally hitting the mute button.
Okay.
But no, literally, so like if you got like say for example, if you're like you've got all these differences like the difference of like 10 numbers, 10 hertz, right?
Uh-huh.
You keep going up all the way and you just keep piling on top. Yeah, it literally creates white noise because white noise is literally 20 to 20,000 hertz. That's what we have for the human hearing range and what they've considered that. You got white noise and pink noise. Like, and pink noise is different than white noise. I have to relook it up because it's been a long time since I've looked up pink noise.
It's okay.
I can tell you use pink noise for tuning a room though.
We'll talk about pink noise in the next episode.
But it's pink.
It's pink.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just like, this makes so much sense. And this is why I've been like, there's nothing to fight. They're not actually doing anything, but somehow they're accomplishing something, right?
That just gave me an idea though. Hold on, because let me double
I mean,
check.
you can Google pink noise right now. We're only at 2 hours in. It's only an hour 55. Little soul purpose tuning here. Soul star. Soul star. Soul star. Soul star. Oh yeah. Excellent. Soul star. Soul star. Soul star. Soul star. Soul star.
Soul Star. We'll see you in the next hole.
I was just thinking, head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Like they were casting a spell. Pink
noise. Use pink noise to tune a room. Yeah.
See, this is why I like pink.
Yeah.
Hot pink, my favorite. How do you use pink noise to tune a room? Please tell us all about it. Here, I'm even turning the microphone towards you. Michael's got the mic, guys. Oh my God. Michael's got the mic, y'all. Holy shit, it's happening. It's happening.
Well, I'm going to throw this out as I'm reading a few things. I'm kind of skimming the information. Literally, I Googled it, and all I Googled was, because I just needed to re-up my knowledge a little bit. Do you use white noise or pink noise for tuning a room? Use pink noise for tuning a room. Here's why. So, when you're... Hold on. Actually, let me reread this because it'll give me the idea again.
Yeah, just read it to us.
Tell
us the
fun
info
fact,
you're
it even
finding.
kind of changed a little. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so mimics music. The frequency content of pink noise is closer to the characteristics of music, making it more natural and accurate test signal for tuning. So I think harmony, when it said music, I was thinking, what is music? You relate music to harmony. Like how do you harmonize? How do you tune to certain things? Like a lot of people love music because they're in harmony with it, right? You're in tune with it. You vibe with it, or you don't vibe with it. Well, if it's more mimic, or if pink noise is closer to the characteristics of music.
Pause for a second. All right, we're back. I, just to be perfectly frank, needed a potty break, and
I needed a clothing change as well, guys. I had to do an outfit change, okay? We're back. We've got an outfit change. We had a potty break. It's okay. Everybody pees, guys.
That's right.
I know. These vessels are strange and you're not used to them. But you guys, everybody, after 2 hours of recording, might need to use the potty, okay? And that's fine. And it's perfectly okay.
You'll pause a movie.
It's fine. It's fine that we talk about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be some perfect, non-urinating, fake fantasy for people to be valid and be worthy, okay? Like, enough's enough, you know? We need to be able to say, like, yo, I had to pee. No big fucking deal. If you were sitting in my house talking to me, I'd be like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how that works sometimes. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Hi, baby. I love
Everybody
you.
drinks water. Everybody has to go to
Everyone
the bathroom.
drink
from
some
drinking
water.
said water.
Drink some water, everybody. We need to hydrate. Hold on.
Yes.
Everyone have some water. Get some hydration. Okay. Michael's looked up pink noise, and this is very interesting. Okay. I feel like this is going to be activating some nerd brains. I need some thoughts, people. Okay. Let's get it together. Group project. Let's go.
I'm reading a little more. Even it goes into the energy.
Let's have a ceremonial bong hit. Hold on, everyone. We're gonna have a ceremonial bong hit whilst the maestro is just he's doing his tuning, people. This is called tuning. It's happening live, okay?
You know, it's so funny. If I had known that this was really going to be part of the work when I was going to college and they were teaching some of these things, I would have actually I would have gotten a lot nerdier with it because I didn't think about it when it came in terms of energy.
But
in
you know
reality.
what? Here's the thing,
Now I
right?
do.
Now you do, and you have the knowledge, so you can get nerdy with it. And it's like a whole renaissance for your own education.
We need a song called Get Nerdy. Or Getting Nerdy.
Get nerdy with
Getting
it.
nerdy. Get nerdy with it. Getting nerdy. Getting nerdy with it.
Well, I mean, I think they could be two totally different songs, really. Yeah.
It'll be an album.
But it's funny, though, because, you know, Michael started, like, his spiritual awakening at, like, 17. Yeah. And so it's funny, you know, and then went to college and became, you know, a sound engineer. And, you know, did a blend of live music engineering and then record producing, right?
Yeah.
So, and, you know, engineering, studio engineering, things like that. So,
You know, fun fact, the beginning of my career, I was doing a lot of work where it was a lot of corporate stuff. It was a lot of corporate work, so it was literally just corporate meetings. Like, I actually did stuff for, like, doctors, insurance companies.
sound engineering for corporate meetings. I mean, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I'd get some free food. That was awesome.
He was always getting free food when he
Yeah.
was doing, like, live events.
I literally was working at a hotel, and that was actually, it was one morning, like, I had to be there. I think there was, like, we had like 5 different rooms going on that day, and I had a break, and it was my first time ever getting shrimp and grits.
Wow.
I never tried shrimp and grits till I was in my 20s.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
We are almost in need of a fresh bowl.
Unless you want to vape the rest of the alien rock candy.
That is not going to erase the need for a fresh bong bowl.
This is true.
But we can teamwork makes the dream work. And I'll do
Yeah.
the water and you can do the marshmallow in the bowl. Because I think we need some marshmallow after this. I really like
Nice
the
and
marshmallow
cushy.
strain. It's very toasty.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us all about the pink noise.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and read through this, and my brain's going to spark some things as we go through it. You should use pink noise to tune a room because it provides equal energy across each octave. Each octave is literally like from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Musically, the standard A note, the musical A note, is the standard tuning for 440 hertz since like the 60s or the 70s. Before that, it was like 432. Before that, it's kind of like multiple composers over centuries would do. You know, recorded history is that it would be in different tunings, like 417 hertz or whatever that they decided to do. Like whenever you go to a live concert, an orchestra concert, or even about like a full-on theater production where they do have an orchestra, what's one of the very first things that you hear? You hear everybody starting to play, right? Well, everybody's starting to get into tune. And so they're playing all of this music tuned to this frequency, right? And so the standard music industry decided around the 60s or 70s, post like Beatles, post Elvis, and like major artists from that time.
So basically, once rock kind of came into...
Yeah.
Speaking of rock, I'm going to be honest. We're just going to go ahead and have a fresh bowl, because that's like...
That
would be a rough hit if you took that. That would be like... That was pretty much straight ash by that point. That had...
Jeez.
That had one hit of not ash left in it. And I was like, you know what? We deserve nice things.
Yeah.
Our lungs deserve nice things, and we're going to not, okay? We're going to not.
It's called Let's Not and Say We Didn't.
Let's not and say we didn't, okay?
Yeah, let's not and say we didn't. So, back to...
Odd tuning coming through the hydrant portal.
So, fun fact.
All right, back to pink noise.
So, actually, fun fact, it's going back to the octaves. So, Elena stayed within basically the same octave range. So, but if you notice, you only sung specific notes within that octave range.
Yes.
So what happens is that those were specific frequencies that were coming through at the time.
I used to train like 2 hours a day with a tuner and that would tell me exactly what note I was singing. So they said I couldn't carry a tune, so I was like, fine. Let me prove you wrong.
Yeah.
So, I used to train myself vocally with a tuner, and I would sing, and I would know if I was flat or sharp, and then I'd know how to fix it. Because I did have some issues keeping or like hitting the pitch that I wanted. I had some problems wielding the vocal cords in this vessel, and instead of teaching me properly, my school didn't. So I taught myself. I was like, yo. I mean, I could already channel, so I didn't know exactly what I was doing. But I just randomly got this idea. Pretty sure it was Raja, but I randomly got this idea. Like, get an electronic tuner and sing into it, and it will tell you what you're actually singing. And then you'll be able to know what you're singing, and you'll know what to do to modulate it in the direction you want to go.
Right. Mm-hmm. So what you're literally doing when you're singing like that, you're literally singing the actual frequencies that are coming through. And as you're readjusting your frequency, your pitch, that's how you're retuning them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool because literally like you're hearing it, so you're literally recreating it. It's so cool how you can do that. Because what's funny is that like even as a singer for myself, like I did the same thing. Like I didn't like when I hit college. I didn't have from that point forward. I had like one other vocal teacher, but that was for like a month or two. Like I never actually had a vocal teacher other than a high school choir teacher teach me how to sing longer than like a month.
And I had private vocal instructors for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Because I started when I was like 15. As a private instructor.
You know what's funny is about 14,
I was
15.
privately trained, you know. It was very common amongst aristocratic families a few hundred years ago to just have all your tutors. And I was like, yo, where's me tutors? I was like, what the hell? You want me to come to Earth and you don't want me to have any private instructors? And I demanded some private instructors, okay? Like, I was like, excuse you, no. Where is my private vocal instructor? I was 15 years old. I think that's one of the reasons why, like, so much of the ick doesn't, like, resonate with me and doesn't make any sense. Because I'm like, I literally, demanded my own private vocal coach at 15. You know, so somebody who's, like, you know, over here like 40 and can't contemplate, you know, investing in themselves to learn how to do something. It just doesn't compute with me, because that's how I've lived my entire life. It's like, if I want to know how to do something, I'm going to find someone to assist me with that, or I'm going to find, something to learn with that. If I can't find something on the physical plane, I'm going to turn to interdimensional reality, which is what I've often had to do, because I haven't been able to find a lot of teachers and information and stuff on the physical plane, but that's starting to shift now. So that's really cool.
That is really cool. Fun fact, y'all. Fun fact real quick before we do get back to pink noise, y'all. There's so many things that Elena and I have done within our, like, as we, like, throughout our years that were very similar. So, like, I actually, when I was, like, I believe it was also 14, 15, I actually wanted to, like, I literally, one day I just woke up and I was like, I went to a concert one night and I got done with it, and I just, like, I remember I was just wanting to sing. I just wanted to learn how to sing so bad. Literally for years, like, I was just constantly, like, manifesting it, and I was literally working on it. It's funny too, because, like, literally she had private, like, even on top of that, you had private vocal lesson teachers. I had my long, like, I actually had a professional, or like a private French horn lesson teacher. Yeah.
You also had a life coach.
I did have a life coach.
How old were you?
Oh my gosh. So my French horn teacher was from the years of, like, 6th to, I think, 10th grade for me growing up.
I mean,
and then the life coach was, like, for a couple of years.
You just have to have support like it, okay?
Yeah.
The Prince of Heaven was clearly like, excuse you, I'm here for my French horn coach, all right?
Yes, I am. And I love you, Patrick. You were awesome. He was a true inspiration. He actually made a lot of jokes.
It.
Yes, I am.
You're holding it.
I got carried away.
I've gotten a full water situation. It's all right. I was just like, where'd it go? It's all right that you didn't fill it. It's also all right that you stole it. It's just kind of fey and adorable. All right? I just need you to know this.
Thanks.
But if you want to do any additional cleaning, please feel free.
Would you kindly hand me a tissue, please? That alien rock candy is good.
Pink noise. Oh yeah, your life coach. How old were you when you had your life coach?
I think it was like 18.
How iconic is that?
18, 19, and I actually went to a therapist, like I went to a family therapist at age of like 15, 16.
I've literally never met someone more willing to, like, do the work and shift his perception of reality, and therefore shift himself of any gender expression than Michael, just to be honest. Like, he really, 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 really has been, like, he's, like, the most willing to, like, anything. Like, he's probably my best alchemy student, to be honest, because he literally just any pocket of dysresonance that can be located, he's, like, always done the work to yeet that shit, and that's pretty fabulous.
Thank you. I try.
Pink stars all around. And back to pink noise.
Good point. I love what you did there.
Thanks, I try.
So basically, as we were reading about the octaves, so 440 is now to this day the standard musical tuning for all music that you hear. I personally believe that, like, a lot of people are saying that 432 was originally the Earth's frequency. I love 444. You just bump it up 16 cents and you're good. What is cents? It's literally like decimal points. So, my point is that you should use
planetary. Pink. Sorry, can we just have a quick chaos moment? Can you check the planetary hour for me?
Yes.
I'm using my phone to record right now, so I can't check it.
Mercury.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, as of 13 minutes ago.
I tuned Mercury 5 times on Friday.
5 times?
In 1 Mercury hour. I was like, bro.
tuning the sun right now. Anyways, so can you
Thank you.
quit? You're welcome.
That's letting you do that.
Maybe I'll get like a tongue drum next.
Ooh.
I think I'd be quite good at that.
Tongue drum.
Like, you know, kind of like a handpan.
Yeah.
But like,
With
you
the
know.
mallets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a xylophone handpan.
And then I get a handpan next. Yeah. Can you use mallets with a handpan?
I don't believe so, but unless
Is that why it's called a handpan?
Yeah.
Fine, then I'll get a big tongue drum. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Because they do make them in different sizes.
I know. I've seen them on Etsy.
Yeah. I want to tap it with my hands though, so I want to still get a handpan.
I like wands.
That's valid.
These are frequency wands. That's what a tuning fork is. It's a frequency wand.
Yes. So you should use pink noise to tune a room because it provides equal energy across each octave. Now that's why I brought up the musical scales, because each octave is like from low notes to really, really high notes, right? So everything is equal when you're hearing it all at the same time. White noise is sporadic. It's not controlled. It's not orderly. It's not everything at once harmonized together. Pink noise basically is.
So pink noise is everything at once. Oh, fabulous! The Mercury fork was the one I picked out first, and they're
Nice.
they're all gold. So that's more difficult to figure out. Anyways, so pink noise is everything all at once harmonized together.
Yes.
And white noise is everything at once not harmonized together.
Correct.
Mercury's real flat. All right, we'll get tuning. Anyways, carry on.
That was awesome. As we've been like learning everything over these years, it's really cool to see how everything develops and things start piecing itself together. And so like you start having the realizations of how things work. I love knowing how things work. It's beautiful.
Samesies.
Yeah. So, pink noise to tune a room because it provides equal energy across each octave. So it's orderly energy, it's orderly frequencies, which mimics how humans perceive sound, allowing you to identify and correct imbalances in a room's acoustics and speaker response using a real-time analyzer, a frequency analyzer, an RTA. White noise, with its equal energy at all frequencies, sounds hissy, and the higher frequencies would overpower the lower ones to the human ear, making it unsuitable for tuning. So you're still getting everything way too loud, so you're getting no harmony. So like people aren't hearing the frequencies that they need to. You're hearing what you need when you're listening to pink noise. So maybe you should try sleeping to pink noise.
So white noise is too loud, and you can't tune into what you need to hear.
Yes.
Pink noise, however, provides more resonant direction, even at higher volumes, for the... Mira, honey, not while Daddy's doing that. I know. But just a second, because Daddy's got an open jar of weed, and you're trying to chaos mode in his lap.
While I'm loading the bowl.
While he's loading the bowl. Okay, come here. Hi, I miss you. I love you. Come here. I know you want to be involved. And that's totally fine. You
We
could have
love you,
chaos
Mira.
moded over the back.
You could have.
I wouldn't have even said anything. I would have just been impressed if you... Next time, honey, I want you to chaos mode over the back. I want you to go right around Daddy's shoulders. I want you to walk on the back of the couch like a proper chaos child. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you feeling all right? Are you okay? Okay, I love you. Like the Morticia Adams of chaos.
Oh. Would that make me the Gomez?
Yeah!
Yay.
Really, Debbie? Pastels? I could have forgiven you for all of that. Pastels? I've got
Those
some
were good
pastels.
movies. Those were good movies.
My booty shorts are pastels.
Yeah.
But it was summer, so, you know, we were going with the vibe.
Yeah.
We can always get some, like, more, you know, like, chaotic fall winter vibes next.
Ooh.
For the booty shorts. They're so comfy.
We got so many colors we can pick.
I need Witchery U booty shorts.
Oh, we gotta get them in different colors, too.
I need FEO 19A, like, cheer shorts.
Yes.
That say Witchery U across my butt.
We'll get
Or
some for both of us.
I am wasting my incarnational experience on Earth. Yeah, I mean, we've got a match, clearly. Yeah. We'll get some more designed for, like, different parts of vessels, though, so that you can have booty shorts without...
They're made for...
without maybe booty exposure. I don't know. You know, like maybe that something else exposure. But booty shorts that are heavy on the booty, but I don't have anything.
They fit just right for each wearer.
Each for the interior and the posterior. The dick, okay, the dick.
Yes.
We gotta have like a dick pocket. Get a pocket dimension for your penis.
Where it's nice and snug and
Penis
cozy.
pocket dimensions.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to
Penis pocket
clearly be a
dimensions.
facet of our all-gender booty shorts at Harvest Rose Witchery.
Yeah.
Ding! With the mercury fork. The chaos codes are really immaculate tonight, I have to be honest. Okay, so
Yay.
what were we? We were going to hit the ceremonial bong hit, everyone. We've got a fresh bowl. Come on, it's time. We're smoking marshmallow right now.
Yeah. It's
We
nice
got these
and toasty.
activators for the tuning forks, and I thought they were going to be so much smaller than they are. They're like they're large. They're large and in charge. This thing is like this is like 4.5, 5 inches long. It kind of looks like a strange part of a toy in a play, like one of those like playpens at McDonald's or whatever
Oh
in
my
like
gosh.
1995. You know, or like those ball pits that you used to go to, like, you know, they'd have those like awkward like kind of things that you could like slide across, but like they didn't really do much and they were just kind of there, and it was like, why is that there? But it was like a big like kind of soft piece, but like you just kind of slit, like kind of domed, like you just got to slit across it. Well, that's what this thing looks like to me. It looks like a part of like a jungle gym indoor playpen for children in 1995, and I was like, you want me to play on that? Like that guy just snotted in his hand and then like fucking wiped it on the balls. I'm not getting in that. That's gross.
Oh.
You know, like children are nasty. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was always seeing some kid like doing something, and I was like, that's not sanitary. And my Virgo moon was like, hell nah, motherfucker. Anyways. So, yeah, we got these activators. So you just hit the fork on it, and so you don't have to use a mallet or whatever, so you can, you know, play multiple at the time.
It's really cool.
And it's really cool, but they're very aesthetic. They're very liminal space vibes. I think that they're clearly poor. I've got to code this as a portal now. Duh. We've got an orange one, a pink one, and a green one, but I want one in every color.
Same.
Okay.
One for every chakra, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the concept.
Yes.
Yeah. Also from Myriad Melodies. So you can get them when you get your tuning forks. Go get your Soul Purpose 272.20 tuning fork from Myriad Melodies.
Directly.
I don't know if anybody else makes that Hertz. I'm going to be honest. That's where I found it. That's where mine's from. She's really great and her shipping's really fast, and she's got a bunch of really cool tools, and so shouting them out because I make like a purchase a month from her right now. And I love everything I've gotten. I've got the solfeggio tube set, the round ones. I don't have the like more rectangular ones yet. I've got a sound bowl. And I've got 2 sets of tuning forks. And I got some of the bags for the tuning forks too. And they're nice. I do recommend.
Yeah.
They're really nice. So, anyways.
They're large and in charge too.
They are large and in charge too. They fit everything very nicely. They have 10 spots in them. They have 2 nice big pockets. There's a bunch of different designs. They have a great like flap to lay over the forks so that they don't ding together. And they've got very cosmic options. The one I've got my chakra set in is like stars, and it's blue and pink. It's really pretty. So. And then I've got a black one too, but I'm not my planetary set actually came with a black bag, and I didn't know it was going to come with a black bag because the chakra forks come in like their own individual little bags. So I had gotten like a collective bag for both of them because I thought I was going to need it, and then I ended up with 3 bags. So I was like, well, I guess I've got a bag for my next set because I've got some like additional ones that I want. They've got a Schumann resonance fork. They've got some 4,000 hertz tuned, some like
that's gonna be really nice to hear. Like I've been excited to hear like a device, like an analog device, creating
at that high of
over 4,000 hertz. Yeah.
I'm very intrigued. So, and the whole set's like $100 or something. So I want to get those. There's some others as well, like hyper specific. Different. There's like a yin and yang set I want to get. So just different, really hyper specific stuff, and I'm like, hells yeah. So that'll be my chaos bag. That's why it's black, like black ether vibes, and reminds me of Raji.
Yeah.
That'll be my chaos bag. That'll be my chaos set of forks. So I'll have my planetary set of forks, my chakra set of forks, and then my chaos set
of forks.
I love it.
Oh my God, it's awesome. It's 3 sets.
That's marvelous.
I agree. That Earth Star chakra tuning fork though, that thing is huge.
It's massive. It's got 4 weights on it because it's so big. It's 68.05 hertz. So we've actually already got this one.
Yeah.
In the chakra frequencies.
Yeah.
What's very interesting is that it does sound very similar to that
Oh, it is.
frequency. I mean, but it's just interesting hearing something analog that's like that.
Especially as low as those frequencies are.
So I'm very interested to hear what 4,000. I'm like, might order it tonight. At least that's it, because I'm so intrigued to hear what 4,000 hertz is going to sound like from a tuning fork. And I've got this extra bag. So I'll tune in. I'll see.
It's funny, by the way.
I'll ask Raja about it. I'll see what he says.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. It's funny, by the way, that's over 4,000 hertz specifically because a lot of the newer frequencies that you've been channeling for months now
I've been in the 4,000s.
Yeah, like it's usually like it's always between 4,000 to 5,000.
That's why I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very intrigued.
Because if we can recreate those frequencies by analog, that would be really, really cool. Just all 3 frequencies and just having the bass note. What would happen if we recorded it like that?
Yeah, take all 3 of those frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, right?
We should totally try that.
And then comes the orchestra, right? Like, you doing it all analog, then you can literally have, like, some strings playing. Like, I'm talking, like, go full orchestra analog.
Yeah.
Like, it's all, like, any other thing that you're hearing, nothing's digital. It's all brass, or it's all woodwind. It's all wood. Yeah.
It's funny because you're such a, like, old school, like, get me a fucking French horn nerd. And then you do so much cool shit with hyper electronic stuff. And most people would not expect that. And I anticipate that that's also probably why you're so good at it. Because you have the vast knowledge of the actual real instruments and music and how it works. You're not just over here kind of piecing some shit together. You have a vast knowledge of the actual music itself and sound and how that works in a real lived, like real world environment with real instruments, as opposed to just having the digital electronic perspective.
I do appreciate that, and yeah, it really does help. I mean, like, literally, I loved when I was in orchestra for, it was like 7.5 years, and that second 5.5 years, I was first chair, and I literally every day, like, I just kept, it was like working out for me. Like, I just wanted to get better. I got all the solos. You know, I had to learn how to be able to play over like 40 to 50 other people, like playing the mellophone, which is like the trumpet version of the French horn. You know, in marching band, like literally like having to do that, like over 40 to 50 people minimum, having solos while an entire marching band is playing while you're moving on a football field. That was fun. Gridding while playing on a football field, now that's crazy.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason they call it a grid people.
Yeah, right? But
It's football season, y'all.
it is football season, so what are all them grids doing? And now I'm wondering about all them teachers, because the teachers do one of two things. One, they choreograph the shows themselves, or I believe that they purchase or download the choreographs themselves, and then they teach it to the kids. So the people that drew it,
What were they doing?
what were they doing?
Where'd they get that?
Yeah, because they're doing it specific, like, most of the time I believe they're doing it to the music itself.
That
Like, they
seems like that has
choreograph the
some-
songs themselves.
That seems like that has some Orionid overlaps. Okay. Marching band. This just in, people. Marching band has Orionid overlaps. Thank you.
You know what's funny is now I'm actually like, okay, so why, like, for me, like, my first 3 years was all Motown music.
Now that's really interesting.
All Motown music.
Here's why. Because for years, even prior, this was when I didn't know who Michael was. I knew Michael for some of this realization, but I didn't know that Michael was who I was looking for, right? Because Michael and I knew each other for several years before we actually recognized each other. So one of the memories that I'd gotten about him, though, was that he worked in Detroit in the 1970s. He would go to, he didn't work there exclusively, but he would go to Detroit because he lived in London, but he would come in to the States, and he would usually pick me up in New York, and then we would go, or I'd meet him somewhere else, and we'd go to a variety of places to include Memphis, North Carolina, and Detroit, and also Nashville. He had a lot of music contacts and contracts, and LA as well, but more predominantly in Memphis, Nashville, and Detroit. He was big in Detroit.
That's why I always wanted to go to all those places.
Worked in A&R. Don't know his name.
Yeah.
Never could find it.
I never thought to look back then. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I forget. When he died. Something like that. Yeah.
Ding.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think that feels like a code to me. It's live decoding shit, y'all.
Yeah. And I've got some thinking to do then later. As time goes on, I feel like something's going to start unlocking with this.
Hey.
That's going to be fun.
And then what does that have to do with Orion and the destroyed Detroit theaters and
I need to re-up my history now in Detroit.
history and Orion and all the missing bits of Orion? There's just like giant fucking missing bits. There were just giant missing bits of the Orionid grid. So like you'd just kind of look over sometimes and it'd be like, that bit's foggy. Except it wasn't fog. That bit just didn't exist anymore. So kind of like there was just like fog there and you just knew not to go over there. It was really fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like imagine if it was just like, oh yeah, well, you just don't go over there on Earth. I mean, how many places do you just not go? Well, a bunch of different parks for one. You just can't get access to a bunch of different, stuff once you get beyond, private property, things like that. It's kind of the same like concept as like a fence, like in a private sign now, or no trespassing sign and a fence, right? It's like the same concept. It was just you just had a fog and there was nothing there. Like if you walked in, it was just kind of fog, and then you just kind of were like, I'm just gonna go back. Very interesting. And then you might recognize that concept from the movie The Others, where there was this fog basically encircling the house, and if they tried to leave, it might be a nice day, but then there was fog everywhere. Fog. Maybe they didn't have any nice days. Maybe it was just fog. I don't remember. But there was a big fog
thing, and like if she tried to leave the house, the fog would basically like drive her back. She wouldn't be able to see, but she'd always be able to get back to the house. It's like the fog was protecting her from leaving the location where she was safe.
Wow.
Right?
That's cool.
So
I actually never saw that movie.
you've never seen the others?
No.
Oh my gosh.
But I always immediately think The Mist. But yeah, haven't seen it. We still have a list of movies that
We do.
one or the other has never seen.
It's just sad. I'm gonna be honest. It's just sad.
Oh no!
I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's some definite like. Ugh. I've seen it a bunch. It is quite a masterpiece of cinema, in my opinion. Like, it's very, like, on an artistic level, it is a beautiful film. But I don't recommend watching it if you're not in, like, a pretty decent space, because you'll cry. You'll cry. There's a little sad. At times. I don't want to give anything away. It's not your traditional sad movie. It's just, it's sad. I found it sad. It was sad. Yeah, it was sad. I find it sad what has happened to people on this planet a lot, and I get like overwhelmingly sad about what has occurred to people and what they've felt, or what they've felt they were driven to, or what people have done, feeling like that was the only option for them simply because of limited knowledge of the self and reality. It makes me very sad sometimes. So I just try to limit that stuff now.
That's understandable.
Back to Pink Noise.
Yeah, it's back to Pink Noise. So, let me see. Equal energy per octave. Why pink noise is better than for room tuning. Pink noise contains the same amount of energy in each octave. A doubling of frequency, such as the octave from 100 hertz to 200 hertz, is a double. That's going one octave to the next. And the octave from 1 kilohertz to 2 kilohertz, which is 1,000 hertz or 2,000 hertz.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about it now and I'm sad. Let's hit the bog about it. I've gotten sad. Michael started rubbing my back. I'm fine now. Okay, back to Pink Noise. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was very sad for a second. I was like... I know somebody just drove past and they had weird fucking vibes. Yo, that's why you stopped talking about the Pink Noise.
Mm-hmm. Here's also been wanting to go outside for like the last 10-15 minutes minimum.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up with a little pink. Let's have a little Pink Noise 101. We'll percolate. We'll come back with more vibes next time about Pink Noise.
Yeah.
Because I'm also getting a little tired and I'm a little hungry.
Samesies. To reiterate what the
tell us
context of it is, why pink noise is better for room tuning. Human perception, your ears perceive sound on a logarithmic scale, meaning you hear equal energy in each octave rather than at each individual frequency. So, like, for example, it's like, it's funnily enough when I watched a...
it's like hearing a choir or a symphony rather than just hearing a bunch of people going, ah!
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then what's funny is that I watched this YouTube video a couple of years ago about when you take shrooms, psilocybin actually, like... It literally, when you take it, it's like you can literally, instead of hearing the entire orchestra, you can start hearing every individual part of it.
Yes, that's literally how I got Roger's Room.
Yeah.
That's how I was singing all the different little bits of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why I was like, it was so fun creating that song. Because literally, it's like when you start getting to hear it, it's like you get to hear it all individually, and then you piece it all together, and then it's like, bam.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, yeah, there's a little bit that's like blah, blah, blah. Or there's a little bit that's like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I'd just tell him like the most random shit, and then he would make it happen. It was great. Yeah.
It's always so fun. Mm-hmm. Did the same thing with Roger's Room 2 a little bit. Mm-hmm. Archery and light coats. It's the violins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pink noise mimics music. The frequency content of pink noise is closer to the characteristics of music, making it a more natural and accurate test signal for tuning. It reveals room response. When played through your speakers and measured with a real-time analyzer, pink noise allows you to see the room's actual response, showing which frequencies are boosted or nulls, meaning quiet spots, so you can, are boosted or non-existent. So you can use your EQ to create a flatter, more balanced sound. EQ meaning equalize, meaning, of course, the word balance. You're just balancing specific frequencies depending on your tools. Let me tell you, I love an infinite EQ. Because you can create all the individual bandwidths as short or as big as you want. You can create, they give you all the different bandwidth options. You could literally just create like 100 of them if you absolutely wanted to. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
But that's like for room tuning, yeah. I always wanted to like actually set up and like I did some decent work tuning a lot of the rooms that I ever worked in, and then I'd fine tune it. And then I would just kind of
absolutely no one's ever tuned a room the way that I've heard Michael tune a room. I'd like to say that. Like
Thanks.
He actually has. I've been to a lot of live sound stuff. The first time I ever heard him run sound, we were not together. He was with somebody else, right? I'd like to state that. And I was like, damn, what the fuck, bro? Because I was so shooketh. I'd never heard live sound that sounded like that. I was just blown away. So that's, I'm not just saying this just because like I'm with him or whatever. Like I was not with him. I did not have my eye on him in the least. I did not think Michael and I were ever going to be together. We were just we were just friends. Yeah, we were just friends. We were just going to be friends. There was like never even any flirting or anything. Like we were just friends.
We just really got along.
Yeah, we just really got along well. And but I was just so like mad impressed. I was like, you made that happen? Like you did that? Like I was so like, bro, like that's insane. Like he could make people who did not sound that good naturally sound so much better. Right? Like I've heard people come in and like what they were naturally doing before he did whatever fucking magic it was he was doing. Like they did not, and it was like auto-tune wasn't involved here. Like he just made them sound so much better. Like I'd hear these people over here like kind of like, you know, running through stuff like live, like while he's like, you know, getting set up or whatever, you know, or, you know, you'd hear him in sound check or whatever. And they would be all over the fucking place, and he could actually make them sound like they knew what they were doing. I'd hear them in the studio, and I'm going to be honest, guys, the Atlanta music scene was shockingly bad.
Yeah.
I've never heard that many people who can't sing in one place.
Yeah.
I've never heard that many untalented people in one place, and I've never seen that much accompanying ego in one place for that little talent. It was actually very shocking. I've seen more talent in bumfuck nowhere, Oklahoma, than I saw in all of Atlanta. It was really shocking what they're trying to pass off for a music industry there, and I just feel like there's got to be a lot of people there who probably are immensely talented and are just getting overrun by these people who are all paying to play. If you're an Atlanta musician, by the way, and you're wondering why you can't get booked, it's because and why other people are who are way less talented than you. I'm telling you right now, having been the girlfriend who went to all the fucking shows, who was at the, you know, I was at all the studio sessions. Like Michael took me to work with him every time that I would go. The only time Michael didn't take me to work with him was when I was like, the manifestor needs a break. I'm tired, right?
Yeah.
So
and I was sad because I was like, I miss you.
Fine. Okay.
I'll be right back, okay?
But
Just
like,
take it up, Dylan. I'm hurrying.
I saw what was going on in there, and I have no skin in this game. Okay, I'm gonna spill all its tea. Yeah, all these people were paying to play. They were all paying to play. They are all still paying to play. If you see some asshole wannabe, you know, like next version of the neighborhood who absolutely will never be the next version of the neighborhood, rolling around here suddenly getting on all these playlists with all these saves and stuff, and you're like, damn, how'd that guy who has like, you know, 40 listeners normally on Spotify, how'd he get on all these playlists? They paid for it, honey.
Yeah.
So everybody will sell stuff right now. They'll sell you a spot on their Spotify playlist. This is running rampy. Cool.
This has been going on for years.
Had something roll through one of the hydrant portals, but it was like, yo, I'm just in and out. I'm actually leaving right now. I just wanted to say hi. Didn't want to freak you out. I saw that you saw me. Just wanted to let you know. And I was like, thanks, bro. Because I like kicked everything out of our apartment. I was like, either announce yourself, tell me who the fuck you are, be approved, or get the fuck out. And so it's been much quieter up in this bitch for a minute since I did that. Sometimes the simplest answers are the most effective. Just tell that shit what to do. Yeah. But yeah, so all these people, they're all...
That's kind of stuff that I would do when I was working.
They're all paying to play. They're all paying to play, okay?
Yeah.
They're paying for the shows. I would literally see people who would go in, you know, any place that, because most of these places are, like these venues are wanting people to sell tickets. They want people who can sell tickets. Mm-hmm. These people were literally going in, they would buy all of the tickets themselves. They didn't give a fuck if they sold any of the tickets. They would go in and buy 50 fucking tickets so that they could get the performance slot that they wanted. Mm-hmm. And so
the quote-unquote best time of the show.
Yeah, the best time of the show. And then they would maybe sell half the tickets. They didn't give a fuck if they sold the tickets because they were paying to play.
Yep.
Okay, so that's
I worked with a band that did that shit to open up for
right
Breaking
now.
Benjamin and other like big names like that from back in the day too. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They'd pay thousands just to be able to be on that stage. And they'd still be playing in front of almost nobody at that time.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I saw was like, you know, I'd hear like the venue manager, right, be like, oh yeah, well so-and-so is going to play at this time because they sold the most tickets. And then these people would roll in with like 10 of their family members total, and maybe 4 or 5 other people would like show up. It was like the lamest shit I've ever seen in my life. And then what they'd do is they'd get some fuckboy bestie if there's some cousin, something, right? Who was like a professional videographer to roll in. And what they do is they pump the crowd up. So they will literally all stand in one area, and then they will shoot this extremely small area, and then they'll all go stand in another area, and they'll shoot this extremely small area, and then they'll go, and then what you'll often see happen too is that at some point the person in the show who knows the most people, their posse is going to roll in, and it's going to be just the lamest shit you've ever seen, okay? But they're going to think that they're the coolest shit that's ever existed. Yeah. And they're going to roll in, and they're going to be there for literally 8.5 minutes, okay? They're going to roll in 30 seconds before the people start singing. Like, you're going to see some rapper over here, like, texting somebody, like, all right, come in, I'm about to start. And then they're going to come in, and they're videoing the whole fucking thing. And then these people wouldn't even finish their set, and the people would roll out. Maybe they were paying them, like, shit. Maybe there's somebody out there who's like, yo, I got 20 friends, we'll show up to your show, it's $50, we're there in and out, 10 minutes. Maybe they're doing 5 or 6 a night, you know what I mean? Maybe they're charging more for it, they're basically doing a bar crawl with their friends. Maybe they've got people paying them to come out. I'm telling you, this was the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. These people were not here to support these people because they actually were friends with them. They were not people. They were not at these venues were not. They were not showing up for the venues, and honey, they most certainly were not showing up for the drinks or the food. Okay.
No.
Full offense. Some of the worst alcoholic beverages I've ever had in my life, and people would be like, oh my god, you've got to try this shot, it's so good. And I would literally, or this drink or whatever, right? This fucking manager and this bartender that Michael worked for this guy was fucking wild. That was a demon incarnated into human form.
Yeah.
1000%. And we knew each other. And he looked at me the first time he ever saw me, not as a show attendee, but as once he found out that, like, after Michael and I got together and he found out that we were together, he was not a fan. But he couldn't say that either. But he looked at me and I was like, oh, I recognize you. And there was this glimmer of recognition from behind this guy's eyes. And I swear he just, like, he looked down and he shook his head like, damn it. And this was about the 7th person in a couple of weeks that had done this when they met me. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, this is weird. All of these people were literally, they'd meet me and I'm just sparkling as fuck. Cause I was fresh out the Hyundai Sonata from Dallas. All right. So my hair was still did, y'all. All right. I still had the black hair and everything. It was still like almost waist length. Like it was, I think I still had lashes on at this point. Like, damn. I was rolling it. Okay. And it was like, they all just looked at me and they just all literally would look down and have this like moment of like, fuck, she actually did show up. I can't win this fight. And then they would it was the weirdest fucking thing. They would all kind of start to self-destruct in his life. I've never seen anything like it. They would start to literally out themselves to him about like what they really thought about him, or shit they'd really done that they'd hidden from him, or shit that they were really doing that they were hiding from him. It was very fucking strange. But it was just so weird. Like, he was just another person, and I was like, oh, I guess we've met before. I think I even made a joke about that to him at one point. Like, oh, I guess we've met before, Bo. And he was like, I guess we have, Elena. And then I was like, oh. And I don't think we like each other.
There's multiple times over the years that he actually would like reference and jokingly that he was a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, honey, we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah.
Did I just say his name? I don't really care.
You did.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, same.
Hi, I recognized you. From hell. Hi, welcome to hell.
That was a crazy 2 years. Like,
Those people were wild.
Yeah, right?
Anyways, so, yeah, these people, they all out here paying to play.
Yeah, literally.
They all out here playing to play. So just so you know that. All right. So
some people literally were actually
noise?
paying for pretty much. I will double check, but
I think we did. I can't remember.
Yeah. Pretty much people were paying for like they would pay for their people's tickets. I did know that would happen. I don't know how many of them that they would always pay for sometimes. But yeah, like people, yeah.
Yeah, but like that was,
thing.
I mean, that's kind of, and that's one thing, like I knew about that kind of going in as well, to just from stuff I'd heard from different completely like, or at least semi-unrelated, like people to, that venue and Michael. Mm-hmm. I'd heard about, people, oh, no, I got your ticket, or, like, because I'd been to other stuff. And so I'd seen that this was like a common thing, that like people who kind of performed in this region, there would often be tickets up for grabs, and then they'd often get the tickets. And then sometimes they would take reimbursement, and sometimes it was, because it's like a $5 ticket or whatever, they would just, they'd have 10 tickets. They would have spent $50 to get, 10 tickets for their like close personal family and friends for their show. Mm-hmm. That made sense to me. Right. That made sense to me. Especially a lot of these people who were in these bands were more like, they weren't doing this for the way that they were paying their bills, right? They had day jobs. They were doing it for a living, yeah. They were not doing this. They had day jobs. So these people were generally making enough money to afford all of the musical equipment and gear and all of this other stuff. So dropping
all their alcohol that they're drinking,
all the alcohol that they're drinking, all of all their bills and all their other stuff with an external job. Mm-hmm. So spending $50-$100 to have a bunch of tickets on hand. For, a lot of these people knew a bunch of people, right? That made sense. What didn't make sense was how they would literally buy out the shows that didn't exist. It was shows, and then they'd play to 5 people, and it was, but because they got the photos that they could post on Facebook mm-hmm. to all their friends, oh, our show last night was such a success, already planning the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was what shocked me. Because I was like, why wouldn't you want to give people the chance to come
see your show, to actually come to this event. You know what I mean? Like, why would you not actually do something so that you're playing to people? Like,
Who actually want to hear you.
I never gave a flying fuck. Anybody can take pictures.
Yeah.
I never gave a flying fuck about performing to a dead room.
Yeah.
Who wants to perform to 5 people?
That's the one thing that I actually, out of all of my years as being a sound engineer and an event hoster, I literally never understood that. That's why, like, when I actually, like, hosted my own events outside of that venue that I worked for, I literally would say, okay, here's how we're doing it. You're going to get 100% of the door for every person that you actually have come in and do that. Because I wanted to encourage people to be able to make money, get paid, and they can bring out as many people as they want. That's true support, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, like, if you got, like, 5... For some of these shows, or a lot of these shows, like, it was like $5 at the door just because of the location, right? And I had everything else set up, so I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is how I get my split.
Because Michael also produced events. He produced shows for a long time, if you don't know. So he
of all different genres.
Ran the whole, like...
I would literally book all the entertainment. I'd book the venue. I would provide all lighting and sound. I would run all lighting and sound. I would play in between music and DJ. I would make sure that everybody loaded in and changed over and got their stuff done as I set up the times for all the time slots that people paid. The only thing I literally didn't do, like, I would even, like, set up all the event pages and stuff like that on social media. The only thing I didn't do was fucking make the flyers. That was it. I didn't make the flyers. I paid somebody to make the flyers.
That's all he didn't do.
That's all I didn't do. I booked everything else myself.
And I've never seen him do that, but I have seen him, like, watching this man run, like, even from, like, the setup of, like, a full, like, providing sound, and, like, it was like watching a military operation occur. Like, okay, like, I was like, bro... You're so giving 484 BCE right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's over here, like, directing people on how to set this stage up or break it down, or, you know, set this up or break it down or whatever. Do this, do that. You know, he's, like, doing all the things.
This.
He's doing all the things, and I'm over here like, you're so giving the Periclean era.
Yeah. If I have stuff I can do, I know how to do it well.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's quite commanding.
Yeah.
Like, authoritative. Like, he was standing there and he was telling people what to do, and I was like, wow. Yeah. This is great. I loved watching. It was fabulous. I was like, this is perking up some past life memories here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so nice when I finally was able to start telling people what to do after a certain point. Oh, it was nice. Because for many years I had to do that shit all myself. And... like, let me tell you, I got some muscles, and I learned how to move fast, but man, I was tired. Yeah. Yeah.
I was shocked when I found out he was a projector and all the things that he just had so much energy. It was wild. He could just do so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm exhausted just watching him.
I did.
Although now he's pretty exhausted recovering from living a life that was
For
very
10
generator
years.
coded. Very generator coded
Yeah.
as a projector.
Yeah.
So we're learning new ways of doing things. But it's quite fun. Diversifying soul and business mechanics portfolios. Thank you.
Yes.
As I brandish the sun tuning fork. Ding.
Yay!
Ding. Ding. I know, Mira, it's time for your gridding. You're going much later tonight. You're an hour and a half off your schedule. Is it because you took a nap with Mommy tonight?
It is.
She's like, yes, we did it on purpose, Mommy. Oh, you're so smart. Wow, we're multidimensional baddies. We just do everything at exactly the time that we should. And if that means take a 5:30 p.m. nap for 3 hours...
then you do it.
Ding, that's what we do. Because clearly
That's
we've
right.
got some baddie shit to do in the middle of the night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll actually throw this last little bit that it does say. Why white noise is not ideal for room tuning. It provides unequal energy per octave, which means white noise has equal energy per frequency, which is why it's like it's so sporadic. Like it's basically everything shouting all together at the same time. Perceived as hissy. This equal energy across all.
Hissy fits.
Yeah, right. Exactly. and that's why I was like, I gotta say this stuff. So this equal energy across all frequencies means that the higher frequencies are more prominent to the human ear, creating a hissy sound and skewing the perceived frequency balance. The really high stuff, yeah, all that stuff.
Does this sound like the hierarchy of the spiritual influencers and the business coaches and the leaders of New Earth, and then all of their little minions who run around and go to their events and are in their memberships and are like, I'm part of their identity, except then they lose their own identity in the process? Does this sound familiar, you guys? Does this sound like the ick? Because this sounds like the ick to me.
Oh, I love that you actually caught that and said that ahead of time, because this was the major reason why I even said that, because you're going to love this last point.
Dinging the Earth Star fork. Let's go. Got fork can tune.
And you know what they can't?
Tune?
Match perception.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't account for how humans hear. They don't account for everybody else. White noise does not give an accurate picture of the room's response when aiming for a balanced and harmonized sound. I added harmonized personally.
So matching in perception. Take us down. Can you, that seemed quite significant to you, and I'm not connecting the dots, but I've got my fork.
So literally.
So can you just walk us through what this sparked for you so that it can spark things for us too?
Yes, literally. The fact that they actually don't care about
That's
others.
That's how you issue an invitation to a projector, by the way. Go ahead,
by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah, literally, the perception. My first thought was like the perception, like you just even said, like they just get all their minions, they do all these things and get all their minions. They don't match perception. They don't see, they don't observe, they don't take into accountability, they don't take into consideration. They just take what they can. They just do what they can, you know?
Yeah, so one thing I've noticed is that, and this is something I've noticed in, really, I guess, in probably amongst the people in Coven of One the most, is like we all kind of match each other's frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm noticing is that it's like we're doing this, I'm convinced we're doing this whether we know the people or not, whether we're in contact or not. I'm convinced we're all matching the frequencies of each other because we're connected via this neural network, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I've noticed is that they don't match each other's vibe.
No.
They're all this like drastically, violently different vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And
trying to be
most
better
of
than
them,
the other, but they can only get so far.
Exactly. They're all in competition with each other and calling it sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
Or
brotherhood.
Community or brotherhood or whatever, right? But they're all secretly family. They're all secretly competing with each other, right? And then something else that I've noticed is they don't like match each other's like I've noticed like we will all be experiencing stuff at the same time, right? They also do the same thing, but they fight it. It's like they will be over here like, I'm thriving. But then their next thread reply is, oh, I've been crying for 3 hours, integrating this eclipse energy. Well, are you thriving or have you been crying for 3 hours? Because I'm going to be honest, when you've been crying for 3 hours, you're probably feeling a little energetically depleted. You're needing an ice roll. You're needing a depuff. You might need a little nap. You might need some Advil because you're feeling like your head's hurting because you've been crying. You're going to need a bath. You're going to need some integration time just from that tear transmutation experience. Mm-hmm. And so that's not thriving energy.
No.
That is restoring, rejuvenating, hermiting, recuperating, restoring, reclaiming energy. That's not thriving energy. Now, all of those energies, all of those things that you're going to experience in that tear transmutation section is going to lead you to more of a thriving energy, right? You're going to be able to grow more after you transmute that. You're going to have more free energy. You're going to whatever, right? You're going to have different effects from that. But it's not inherently, in that moment, you're not thriving. You are recovering from something that has happened to you. And the second you claim that, the second you shift into that frequency range, and you're no longer you're no longer the source of your own dysresonance. Right? But what I've noticed is they will never do that. And then what tends to happen is these also tend to be people who will at some point fess up to the fact that somebody's called them out for being different online than they are in reality. And that's because these people are putting out this perception of their reality, but it's not matching what's really going on. So they're the source code and coder of their own dysresonant frequencies and grids. is what we're picking up here. But then what happens is, ya potan tiaka grids. You've tried to put something on the fucking word grids. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to fucking just vibrationally send them all a present is what I'm going to do, people. Okay? Whoever did that's getting a big present. They're getting a real big present. So that was me telling some of my little scarabs to just go out and get me some information. So anyways, aka the Antarians. They kind of look like scarabs.
So that's
They've
what
got
they was
mad
showing up
scarab
earlier.
vibes. So they don't match each other's perception. Then what happens is they literally can't match each other's perception because they don't match their own perception, right? These are often also people who are obsessed with embodiment and identity work. I'm not sure why. And those things are not, I'm not saying those things are inherently bad. I'm saying that I've noticed that those are things that they tend to be obsessed with, call themselves experts at, yet actually cannot exemplify and they don't hold that in their lives. Right? So that's a common theme that I've picked up as well. Very strange. I'm guessing because they probably don't feel embodied in their own identity because it's a false identity and they probably don't really know who they are. And that's honestly it's very pitiable. But then what happens is they turn that lack of consciousness as a weapon onto other people who are at a higher level of self-perception and try to fight us just because we know ourselves, because they don't. And that's just stupid. Yeah. That's a stupid use of your energy. Yeah. You should stop doing that. It's dumb. Yeah. I don't have a more love and light, socially coded word to say. It's stupid. That's stupid. You're the source code of your own disresonance. It's you. You're the problem. Quit. You know what I mean?
Waste of your time.
Right? But they never stop. They just go out and find more people to inflict this shit on. And then somehow, at the same time, psychologically manipulate us into gaslighting ourselves into believing that we were the problems.
Or they actually try to program you as early as you can. Because,
yep.
Again, sometimes it comes from the family.
Yeah. Well, all of this stems from things that have been implanted in very young developmental years, I've learned. That was something that I saw across the board with all of my clients, was that people were having this stuff implanted generally via a very close family member, typically one of the parental units, right, was typically the source of this implantation from pretty much birth. So just root chakra on up, people were just being implanted that this stuff was normal and that they could never escape it. So then that just makes them ripe for the picking when it's some, rando that found them on Threads that's like, no, I'm the better alchemist / business coach and you'll never take my iconicness. And I'm like, bro, you don't even know the meaning of the word. Like the fact that an icon, like religious iconography, like an icon is really someone who's to be like looked up to, somebody who exemplifies a frequency range, someone that holds a master frequency at such a high level that they can continuously hold it no matter what. I'm gonna be honest, I have lived my life to prove that I can do such, so I can call myself iconic. Because I am. Yeah. I maintained luxury witch vibes while living at the Pixie Motel. Try me, ho.
Yeah.
Try me. It's one thing to have rich bitch vibes at the Ritz. It's another thing to have rich bitch vibes at the Pixie.
Yeah.
And I was waltzing around in my kimono with my bong like, good morning. How are you? Yes, I'm here for the vibes, really. Like, those people did not know what to make of me, but they were just like, okay, well, cool. That's nice. Then they all referred to me as Mrs. Michael's legal last name.
by the way.
Yeah.
It was, which was kind of really cute. Actually,
Yeah,
it was pretty cute. It was pretty cute. But they all called me Mrs. Michael's last name. Which is funny because Dumaine is the last name that I chose. So none of them called me Mrs. Dumaine though. But.
It was so nice hearing it though.
Yeah. It was really cute. It actually made me surprisingly happy. I was like, oh. I don't intend to ever legally change my last name to Michael's legal last name. But it was quite fun. It was fun.
It was a wonderful
I was like, oh, I feel like I'm back in the 1970s, really. It was which like normally would piss a modern girl like me off, right? But I love him.
Yeah.
So it was cute. Joy. They can't take that away. They won't take that away. Can't remember what musical theater song that's from right now, but that's because I've got a sudden splitting headache.
It's all right.
I mean, it's like something has just taken, like, taken like a rod and just poked it right down my crown chakra. Isai no miyonan. Omusan. Did I find out your little secret and now you're pissy? So me too. Itan. Yeah. Not everything in heaven and earth, Horatio, sounds like your music teacher told you it should.
That's right.
Sometimes, to perfectly sing something on a cosmic or celestial level, I've got to make some sounds that don't sound very pretty on Earth, but let me tell you, when you get an interdimensional dialect right, and you just hit it, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, because that's talent.
It's art, motherfuckers,
That is
right?
art.
That's talent
That's
right there.
talent.
Anybody can hit the perfect note, but can everybody hit the right note? No.
Yeah. Right? Like, that's the key.
So. Oh my God, do you think my dad was like a lounge singer in Aldebaran? Yes?
Yes. Like, I'm thinking like an accompaniment with like a trumpet.
A trumpet? Sonny, what do you think he is, a peasant?
Nah, he doesn't just have one trumpet.
He's got a whole band.
I know.
Clearly. Oh my God,
Seen him during a solo moment.
I'm tuning into one of my dad's covens, y'all. Sharing it with the whole internet.
He's got a fabulous, just like, look. I see him with the hat.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Like, with the spotlight. That's
I'm
what
ready
saying.
for my dad's like 72-year-old renaissance. He ain't there yet. He's not near that decade, but he'll be getting there eventually. And I'm telling you, my dad's a cool cat when he's in his 70s. All right, I happen to be his oracle, and he's a cool cat in his 70s. I'm just saying. But yeah, every year for my birthday, almost every year. Not when like the state's been on fire, but many years my dad's called me and like sung me a whole happy birthday to you. Hey, I mean like the whole happy birthday to you. How you doing? I'll be here all week. Like, I mean, full bits and everything, okay? Like, I actually got this personality a lot from my dad. So, like, yeah, just full bits. I mean, like, I was, like, 5 years old, and this man's, like, over here doing a full fucking rendition with bits. And I'm just, like, giggling my ass off. It was great. So, yeah. Marvelous, really.
It really is.
Now I'm like, clearly clearly it's a family affair. It's a family trait. My dad's been singing in some lounges interdimensionally across space and time.
Sorry.
See, and this is one of the things that, like, I'm so fucking sick of this bullshit with the Akashic Records and the past life readers and the crap. Because they do it a completely different way than I did my entire career. Like, I didn't get in with any of those people. Like, I didn't fuck with any of those Akashic Records people and any of those, like, past life people. But I did readings and sessions and stuff like that for my clients and for myself for a long time. So I do it in a completely, I was entirely trained by the guides of the different interdimensional levels of the Akashic Records. I've never received Akashic Records or past life training from a human on Earth. I was exclusively trained by the guides and the keepers of the halls of records, and taught how to traverse between the different connection networks of the different levels of the records and all that different stuff by exclusively beings in other space and time that I astral projected to. Like, I just went to the records, and then I just astral projected to the records, and I went back to the Earth records, and then I turned up and I was like, yo, I'm here to meet with my guide. And they were like, yes, you are. And I was like, yes, I am. And then I started doing that. And then eventually we went to a different level of the records. I was told one night, like, you don't need to go to the crystal temples. You need to go, because that's where because I went back to the Lemurian crystal temples that held the, like, OG records of this planet, right? Those were, like, the OG planetary records. And they weren't called the Lemurian records to begin with, but that's the eldest word that we have that's widely recognized on this planet, and that's the last time that they were seen in their entirety. So it's like, that's what we're calling them for right now. More to come later. But went back to the Lemurian records, and then one day they were like, you don't need to go to but I called them the crystal temples. I didn't call them the Lemurian records. So I went to the crystal temples of Earth, and they were like, you don't need to go to the crystal temples tonight. You need to go into the cosmic records. And I was like, okay. And they taught me how to open the portal to the cosmic records, which is a completely different mechanism to get into those records than into the Earth records. You have to travel back in time, sort of, and do, like, this fun time flux, and then you have to, like, just walk onto the beach, and then you have to get to the records. It's like, if you know where to go, you know where to go, and otherwise you ain't got no fucking business there. Stay the fuck out, right? Well, I knew where to go. So then they told me, but then to get to the cosmic records, it's a portal mechanism, and then you have to fly there, and you have to go there, and it's a whole situation. And it's vibrationally coded, and you basically have to be invited in through your work with the planetary records, is how it was happening back then, right? And then eventually, after several years of work so I did several years of work with each level of these records, and I mean daily to multiple times a day. I was visiting the records that I was working with. I was working with the guides and the beings and the people who work in those halls. I was communicating with a variety of different people. I'm just going to call them people because that's easier. I was communicating, but, they looked a variety of different ways and different, some of them were humanoid, some of them were not. Some of them were pretty much just exclusively like crystalline light beings. Some of them were more humanoid forms. I found a version of Raja in there. He always goes for the same colors in his bedroom. He always has red in his bedroom. Without fail. Even on Earth, I've tracked some of his bedrooms. He always, and on the ship, he has red in his bedroom. He loves a good red bedspread. And it rhymes. A red bedspread. So anyways, yeah. So then I worked with the Earth version for nightly, every fucking night. And sometimes I'd be like, oh, I've got 30 minutes. Let me pop over to the records for a moment in between calls, as one does, because this was a major focus of my work, right? And then I began to do that with the cosmic ones, and then I began to do that with the celestial ones. That's where I started going to my giant
library of magical books that would fly to me while I sat on my huge lily pad in the middle of a pond in a grand, like, kind of golden, infinite chamber that sang. I love it there. And then everything got fucked up. They tried to get into the records. They tried to come in and steal our shit. They tried to hack our portals. The records went on full lockdown protocol. So if you've got access to the records, all you need to do is reactivate your access and you will be granted just like waltz right on in. Everything's good. It's a little dusty. Not going to lie. Because it's been kind of shut down for a minute. Everything that's been being accessed for the last 3 years, I'm told, that then these people are, you know, first they're reading the records and then they're like, the Akashic records are corrupted and they're trafficking souls through stargates. These people were never accessing the real records. They were accessing what seems to be the interdimensional copy of the records that they stole across time and space, which is why they're so fragmented. It's why they're filled with trauma codes. A lot of those trauma codes didn't even actually happen on the lived timelines. They're false trauma coding that they're then implanting into their clients, into the people who read their bullshit on threads, into the people who watch their TikToks, into their people who are doing their certification programs and buying all of their bullshit, okay? We're flipping the tables and the temples, honeys. Wait, we gotta hit the bong about it. Praise Jesus.
Hey.
Hail Satin. It's a fabric joke. And Lucy loves it. He's giving me a little applause right now. He's like, that was clever. And you know I love that joke so much. You clever bitch. Oh, I love you, you clever bitch. Oh, love all around. Yay. I found most what's referred to as being demons to be quite loving beings, to be honest. They're quite nicey. Most of the time, they just want to have a garden party and vibe and, like, have a little chat sesh. So, like, when people are afraid of them and they're, like, genuinely, like, afraid, I'm like, honey, please stop. Like, just quit. You're the demon. You're the one. You're afraid of your own perception of what you believe these beings to be, not what they are. Okay? Which means you are fighting yourself. All right? Anyways, I'm told I've got a council meeting to go to at 12:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Started recording this at 9:29 p.m. Nice. We love a numerical coding. I'd expect Baddie's listening to this. 929 is probably one of our days. I've noticed that this is something that we coded into the plan right now. So, like, they took 8-8, right? 8-8 was a fucking shit show this year. So, we ended up doing a bunch of shit on 8/28. They didn't expect that. We just had this eclipse. We've got another eclipse on Mabon. They're gonna be plotting and planning for next time, y'all. Okay? They're planning some shit for this solar eclipse. They're all obsessed with the sun. They think the sun wants to have sex with them and be like their baby daddy.
Nah.
They think that they're the chosen solar queens and kings and whatever these people are on. They expected the evil moon and the lunar eclipse to take them out. Michael's making some symbols with his hands that are a creative representation of some actions that one might see in films such as The Godfather. Or if one were putting together a charcuterie board. If you're smart enough to figure it out, you get pink stars. I think that was clear.
You know, it's funny.
Gotta be the chaos codes.
You said Godfather, and I remembered the specific scene from Avengers Endgame.
I don't remember them garroting anyone with a cheese wire in Adventures in Game. That's pretty.
No, they were theorizing. Come on, go back to Thanos when he was a baby and, you know, just...
Oh.
His War Machine.
Oh.
Don Cheadle.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was stuck on The Godfather. Anyways.
It's okay, but I never saw The Godfather, so...
That's true. Well, they garrote someone with a cheese wire.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Hi, baby. So anyways. They gonna be... We're wrapping this up. But they... They're going to be plotting and planning for the next 2 weeks. Okay? So, we've gotten to Mabon. This is why the guides were like, yo, you need to look into Mabon this year. I understand the message received, honeys. Thank you. Thank you to all the multidimensional homies who came in with that message.
Yeah.
Now, what they don't understand, because they're probably not tracking the lunar movements like we do. Solar eclipse, yes. Immediately after solar eclipse, in Virgo, the moon will be in Virgo while the solar eclipse is happening, right? And the sun's in Virgo. So Aldebaran. Immediately after that, we have a new moon, but the moon will be void, of course, when it is said to be at its maximum newness. So it's a new moon in Libra, new moon in Lyra.
And void, of course.
But it will technically, the way that we track it, when it is at maximum newness, be immediate. It will be hitting void, of course, which means it's open fucking season, frequency wise. So we can direct this however we want to, and this is what I talk about when I talk about like you need to start driving your ship. Okay, we can direct this however we want to. If you want your primordial homies to come in and clean house, tell them what the fuck to do and tell them where to go. If you want your dragon homies, your hydrant homies, your angelic homies, your arcturian homies, your Pleiadian homies, your Orionian homies, your Rigelian homies, your fairies, your river spirits. River spirits are always down to fuck somebody up, yo. I had some pine cones that I had set up as like little wardens around a couple of my portals to like watch what was going on, right? With like other little pine coney bits. Like each one was like an individual eye. Oh yeah. It was badass. And then what happens is, so it's like they do that, and then when they've soaked up enough energy, right? It's like they have all the codes, and they were like, they were like, you need to take us and throw us in the river, because we have a river out back. So they were like, you need to take us and throw us in the shrubbery in the river out back, so that we can relay the information to the river spirits who are going to take care of it. And I was like, oh, hells yeah, motherfuckers. Yeah. I didn't even do anything to make this happen. No. And then I take the pine cones outside and oh yeah, I feel all the river spirits. They're rolling up and they're like, oh, come on, give it to us. Come on, give it to me. They're like, and I throw the pine cones out back and I get them all over the fence. Like I'm throwing them, I'm like chucking these things from the back porch, right? Just like randomly chucking these pine cones off the back porch into the like sort of vicinity of the river. I think the last one actually, I heard it, like I lobbed that thing and I think it actually made it into the river. Like I heard a bit of a splash. I was like, damn, I think I got it in the river. But the river spirits were like, we got it. And because it was on that side of the boundary, right? So they can just come right up to the banks of the, they're just right on the banks of the river. So they were getting the codes. And I don't know, they were going to go take care of some business. And I was like, check, next, like... If you ever wondered how I can do all this stuff, it's because I've got a lot of friends interdimensionally and I outsource everything. I'm like Molly fucking Weasley, but with like the ick and reconnaissance and doing shit and going over here and like, I don't even know what, at this point, they're all so good at what we do. Like, I don't even have to tell them what to do. They tell me what to do. They're like, yo, I need your pine cones. And I'm like, bro, what about I forgot I even did the pine cones, man. And they're like, just give it to me. Okay, I gotta go. And I'm like, okay, are you going to tell me what that was about later? And they're like, yeah, you'll find out. And I'm like, okay, cool, bye. Love you. Talk to you later. So it's like, that's where we're at now. So I don't function in the realm of reality that most people do. It's quite fun. I recommend it. It's awesome. So anyways, on that note, Mira desperately wants to go out and do her gridding. She says it is time, but it's the perfect time. So don't worry, Mommy. You didn't talk too long. Thank you, darling. And it's just, that's because it's right almost straight up 1 o'clock. And they're supposed to go out apparently at 1 a.m. tonight instead of 11. But it's 12:59. So she's like, I'm cuddling with Mommy until 1. Aw, it's 1. Everyone, it's 1 a.m. Here we go. It's 1 a.m., people. Okay,
That's
so
a weird
anyways.
vibration.
That is a very weird vibration. And there was also
That's what I'm talking
there was
about.
a door. Like, we just, like,
Sounded
at
like a door
straight up
closed.
fucking 1 a.m. a door closed. Are you fucking kidding
That's
me?
what I was mentioning.
What the actual fuck was that? I was like, she was like, Mommy, something's happening at 1 a.m. And then it fucking straight up, I watched it. The clock ticked 1 a.m. on my phone as I'm staring it down. And then door closed. But is there anyone new here?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, maybe they just closed a door upstairs. I mean, our upstairs neighbors are here, but that's a big door. That was weird.
That sounded like it was a front door.
Yeah, it sounded like it was like the front door next door.
Yeah, and they're here, but they're not.
And the people who live upstairs, their front door is on the back of our apartment.
Yeah.
Because the upstairs doors are like, they're on the back.
And there's no one in the other.
The other side of the apartment is empty on this plane of existence. But we've heard this door open and close over and over and over again. Like, we have heard this thing, we have heard the hinges squeak, and no one will have gone in and out. No one will be there. Like, it's like, what the fuck, bro? Because they're like, next door's front door is right next to our couch. And, like, yeah, it's like right there.
We're talking like less than a few feet away if you're standing equidistant outside the window.
Yeah, if you're like outside where I'm sitting on the couch, like, it's
4
like
feet.
4 feet down the little thing. So we can hear it. It's just strange. I don't know. But the weird thing is it literally will sound like a door's opening, like in the wall. Like, it sounds like their front door is literally like right behind, like, our frickin' like couch. Our frickin' couch.
Our frickin'.
That's weird. I feel weird now that we heard a door right at straight up 1 a.m. and Mira had mentioned 1 a.m. That's strange.
Yeah. And she just heard upstairs this water running. Pretty sure they just flushed into it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, but I mean, that's so the thing is, right? Like, you can, you know, and a lot of people would just be like, oh no, they just went to the bathroom, like, that wasn't anything. But we didn't say what was gonna happen at 1 a.m. We just said something was gonna happen at 1 a.m. But there was this like massive like frequency shift outside. Like, there was a completely different like air carries frequency, right? There is an actual vibration to everything. So if you could see the actual vibration of everything, you would be able to see the frequency that everything was vibrating at, because everything's vibrating at a frequency. Like, this is science. It's not magic or woo-woo shit. This is just science, okay? So everything's vibrating at a particular frequency, and if we could perceive those frequencies, then we'd have a lot more data about what was going on around us. I have the ability to perceive the frequencies that I feel around me on a very high level. It's just in very interdimensional ways, which I guess is what people probably call being psychic, to be honest, right? But I'm really just perceiving. I have a very high level of attunement to frequencies, and I can perceive them at a very high level. What's weirder right now, they're not going outside or anything, are they? I mean,
that's the first thing I was checking for.
Okay, because it's way too many door slams to make sense. We've been in that apartment. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bath.
The only other door you got other than the bathroom, the entrance,
It's the closets.
It's the closets.
There's 2 closets in the bedroom.
And at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not closing your closets for reasons like that. That was loud.
It's been like,
it shook the building.
There's been like 5 or 6 fucking door. Okay, so somebody gets up, they go to the bathroom, they close the door. They open the bathroom, a couple minutes later, maybe they reclose the door. That's 2. The bathroom in that apartment is like, there's not another door that you can even go into. We've been in that apartment
the former property manager showed it to us. Randomly one day, she had to go up there and she was like, "Do you guys want to see it?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're fucking nosy. We want to see all of them." Because all the apartments, there's only 4 apartments in our building, and they're all completely different. They're all set up completely differently. Like, we have no closets, but upstairs has 2 sets of closets, like 2 sets of walk-in closets, and we have no closets, right?
Both of the apartments upstairs.
Yeah.
They actually both upstairs. They even have they have an AC unit.
Yeah. Both upstairs have AC. We don't have built-in AC. We have window units. Because we live in the mountains. Like, it's only hot here for 3 months of the year. It was jacket weather before the end of August. So,
Yeah.
it's just, we still have the air conditioner on, like, low just to kind of stir air right now because this place does oddly hold heat. And so it's not getting cold enough at night, and it's not getting cold. It's getting too warm during the day to have just like the air conditioner off yet. But within a month, we'll be on full like heater protocols. So
That was unexpected.
interesting timing. That was an 8-hour version of the. I mean, I know we've been recording for 3 hours and 33 minutes, 55 seconds when I said that. But when I checked that was only like 2 hours in, and that's an 8-hour frequency.
Yeah.
So I literally checked that because I was like, oh, what are we listening to right before I hit record 3.5 hours ago? It was 2.5 hours in. We should have had 2 hours left of that frequency. Time riff shit.
Yeah. That's so weird.
That is weird. Let's check on Michigan right quick here. I've got all of these live streams on a playlist. I'm pretty sure the playlist is public. But I've got all these different live streams. And if you've got places that like you vibe with, you can always create I just called it my Portals playlist, but you can always create your own playlist, Portals. But I've got all of these different live streams of places that like I've got a bunch of like different ones that just kind of randomly circulate through different places on the planet. But like from that, wow, that's a creepy fucking shot. Oh my gosh, that's the most Midwest Gothic shit I've ever seen in my life. There's something crawling across the fucking... What the fuck was that? Okay, so we've got this Michigan live stream on. And it's
I got some pictures.
Harbor Springs, Michigan. It's their downtown area. I've had dreams there. So this is also a fabulous place to like track places that you've had dreams and not realize you were having like dreams that were tuning you into alternate timelines. Like when we first started coming to North Carolina during the day, because we came up here during the night a lot, and I didn't recognize it at night. But when we came up here, like the first cloudy day that we were up here, I was like, I've had so many dreams here. Like I had so many dreams of either alternate timelines of Earth, previous iterations of civilizations of Earth that have existed in other moments in time, but then also North Carolina has mad portal connectivity codes to Rigel, and the Terra location of Rigel is almost an exact match for many locations in North Carolina. So when I realized that, I was able to start tuning into the timelines on a higher level. So like, for example, maybe 2 weeks ago, I found all of these live streams in Michigan, and I started tracking these different frequencies in Michigan astrally via, like I'd tune in via the live cam, and then I started getting like these astral pings of like, just information about like conditions there and stuff there. And for years I've said, I've made a joke, like, I think I left something in Detroit I need to go get. I don't know what it is, but I've made that joke for a minute. Like, I left something in Detroit, I gotta go get it. But, and this is really funny, this place, I'm realizing, a variety of places in Michigan look like. So I've had dreams in clumps. So I had this clump of dreams that were Rigelian, North Carolina coded. And then I started having a clump of dreams that were different. Like, it could have been the same place, but you could just tell it wasn't. You know what I mean? And, like, it's really fun. Damn, that's so creepy. That is so creepy. I'm not scared. It's just creepy.
Yeah. Be standing on
It's like a
those
shot.
steps.
Yeah, it's like a shot of this church and then this street, and then there's just these like 2 street lights. And they're almost kind of green. And then you can see like the faint glow of one more green street light, but you can't actually see the street light, and that's just like down this like dark nothingness behind the church. And then the church is lit up, but then nothing else is. And it's just like enough of like this glow of light that you can just kind of see the street. But I was having dreams in this place. We went to this greenhouse there. It was like this older greenhouse, this nice, I think they were maybe a former professor. Are you a former professor that lives in Harbor Springs, Michigan, that has some very interesting occult papers in your sunroom/office? I had a dream about you. Hi.
And conversations would like to be had.
Yeah. That's so weird. I've seen that. It's happening live. I'm so glad we're catching this. That's so weird. I've seen that place in dreams. And it was fucking weird. We were wandering around that place at night. There were all these weird, like, backroom style things. Like, you go in, like, one of these completely normal looking doors. You think you're just going into a bookshop, and then you end up in, like, some... Yeah, it's a bookshop, but it's like a fucking city-sized bookshop in the back rooms of this one little place that just looks like it is definitely bigger on the inside, okay? So pocket dimensions, I'm going to guess. Mad use of pocket dimensional reality coding. There was a lot of hidden information in this series of dreams. I was having a lot of dreams in libraries, bookshops, spa-like location, witchy shops, dance studios, random antique stores, a hardware store, and there were all of these like semi-mountainous but lake locations, like kind of like lower mountains, more lakes, right? Whereas here in Ski Central, you get like less lakes, way taller mountains.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Tuning Mercury, tuning Mercury, tuning Mercury, oh, we're tuning Mercury. Hey! That is like every Midwest Gothic, like, Tumblr post I've ever read. If you know, you know. That's so fucking creepy. I love it. Like, that's so weird. Oh, I just saw something. There was just something standing there. There was like this very distinct black shadow in what should be black nothingness, but nope, something black shadowier had appeared in the black shadow. What the fuck was that? I love it. I'm into it. Oh, it just glitched.
That's glitching,
it's
moving.
just glitching. It's like there's stuff standing
in
there.
the streets.
What the hell? Those are massive, huge, dark shadows.
Yeah. It's like this like big clouds encompassing certain areas of the street.
Hold on. We gotta go. We gotta go to the Portals playlist. Because I've got an additional shot of that street in my Portals playlist. Hold on, let's do a quick New Orleans check.
I haven't seen this place in a minute.
I know. Oh, that's an interesting. Ew. All right, that's...
Not Michigan.
That is not a vibe right now. Those vents are venting. Damn. Would not set foot in there at this moment. Let's check on Charlevoix. Beautiful and creepy. I'm in love.
Yeah.
It's like kind of giving Arcturian and Hydran vibes.
Hey.
Raja! I've had dreams there too. I've had literally dreams on that bridge.
That's so cool.
Okay. Steeple cam. That's what we were watching. We were watching Steeple cam. Hold on, let's check out Port Huron real quick. Oh. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry for bitching about the Canadians. It was just the two. If you're not one of those two Canadians, you're not included in this conversation. I'm sure you're a lovely person, or at least I hope so. And if you're not, maybe you should consider being one. That is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
Michigan's weird and I love it. I've never been there, but I wanna. Ooh.
I love the lights that just sparkling.
Weird
back.
random light. I've had dreams there too. Ooh. Is that somebody like out fucking... Oh no, that's a flag. I was like, is somebody out fucking inside that window? Is somebody like shaking out their comforter right now or something? Like, what the hell's going on? I thought I was about to see something fabulous.
You know, if it snows there and it gets icy, I wonder what that's like for that town.
Well, if we watch these live streams long enough,
We'll
find out. I know, I haven't even checked my portals in like days. Like, I have not been able to do my... Oh, it's working. Where's my other, No, hold on. I've been there too.
I didn't realize that live videos could go that long.
I know, right? That was like 569 hours.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's looking a little interesting.
Especially the green. Funnily enough, it reminds me of,
Especially that weird little thing floating in front of the camera.
right?
The fuck is that?
It literally looks like it's just floating above that skyline. The
What is going on with the lights here? Are you seeing this? Like, look at the micro lights. Look at the street lights. Like,
Alec Baldwin, the shadow.
There's like massive glitching happening in the lights right here, and I can't understand why. That's very odd, and it's making my third eye hurt. I don't like it. I'm going back to Michigan. You know what's not doing that is Michigan, apparently. Let's see what Ephraim, Wisconsin's doing. That is an odd frequency and giving some very strange Pleiadian coding at this moment in time. That also hurt my head. Ooh. Where is Duluth?
Something like the
Minnesota.
north. Yeah, it's the north.
That
northwest
is
corner.
Also a very interesting. I knew it was in one of them. I just couldn't remember which right now. That is a very interesting. That's very bright. Is that from the moon, I wonder? What is making that bright? I like my nervous system just relaxed. I went back to a Michigan stream. This one's Sulux. It says. My nervous system just really relaxed. I don't know what's going on. That's like.
I'm sorry. How many hours is that's 21,888 hours.
888, y'all.
Yeah.
Giving like weird old movie energy. This is the
what I was
Sunset Bay RV Resort and Campground. in Upper Michigan, 6 miles south of Eagle River off 5 Mile Point Road.
Keniwa Peninsula.
Keweenaw?
Keweenaw.
Keweenaw? We don't know how to say that. We're sorry.
Keweenaw.
We'd love to learn. Owned and operated by the same family since 1952.
Wow.
It's giving Agatha Christie 1952 movie.
Yeah.
We've got the Charlotte, Michigan rail cam, which is just a random shot of a railroad or of a railway line in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's like a shot of a tree, which is giving some weird codes right now. It's like a shot of a tree in this little field with nothing going on, but there's just this little night vision camera parked out there. What's Chicago like right now? No.
Oh, it's definitely not dogging.
Take me back to Port Huron. Yes, thank you. Now, Port Huron gives mad hydrant vibes, especially like it is smoking tonight. It was not this smoking the last time we tuned in. They're doing something up in there. They got all the smokers a going tonight at the port. I see.
We like the Michigan neat. We don't like the Chicago dogs. But we like Chicago dogs.
I love a Chicago dog.
Exactly. But we're not wanting dogs from Chicago right now.
No, definitely not tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. That's not a vibe. Oh, we've got some purple lighting.
I was just about to say that. 220, it's an octave below 440.
All right. Let's see. Saginaw River Cam in Essexville.
What time is it there?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a really good camera.
1 or 2 hours behind us.
So they just have really bright lights. Or that camera is set up for daytime and nighttime.
It was not this bright a couple of nights ago. I'm thinking maybe it's the moon. I mean, it's a full moon.
It is. It's got to be the moon.
Duluth Harbor Cam's a little funky right now. That's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this one. Back to fucking Midwest. Oh, that was just a straight up pillar of light just appeared in the damn middle of the road. So we're back to Creepyville, Harbor Springs, Michigan.
It's like somewhere you'd see Castiel just randomly pop in at.
I always thought Cass was so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always into Castiel and Sam. But I think it's because I felt like I was Dean.
That makes sense.
So.
I'm trying to do it, and then I started laughing because I was gonna do an impersonation of Castiel. I started laughing. All I can think of is like what he was. I was trying to be like what he sounded like when he was eating cheeseburgers. He just popped in. He had that bag of cheeseburgers and fries.
I found a liquor store, and I drank it. Like he's very Roger. Not gonna lie, but you have Mad Sam vibes. And then I'm like, if Dean was not related to either of them and was just like, yo, you want to do witchcraft to take care of these demons? Like, I don't have a shotgun. And I'm not going to drive the car, but you can. I have a car. You know what I mean?
Warded.
And it's warded. Thank you.
So we've got funky. Oh, so then we need to go back to. So we need to go back to Steeple Cam. That's the one we were looking for, was Steeple Cam, which is just dark as fuck. You can't see anything on Steeple Cam right now, people. Okay, Steeple Cam is just. You gotta be on the other one. But hold on, we're making a rotation. Whew, that's a vibe. I'm not mad at it. That's so it's like the most liminal space of liminal space vibes. Tuning Mercury again. Are you just sad because people bitch at you all the time and no one loves you on this planet? I'm sorry. I'll love you. I can't bitch about Mercury anymore, you guys. I started tuning him and then I got sad and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. I've had a dream there too.
It is. It
I've
looks
had a dream
like a
there too.
runway.
Yes. Shit ton of my Orionid dreams not in Rigel were there. So it's got to be Orionid fucking portals, and we're in Rigelian portals right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I feel an adventure coming on.
Yay!
Eventually. Está que ya tapón. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been all over this town in my dreams. Alrighty. Well, on that note, I've got to go chat with some interdimensional beings, some multidimensional baddies. That weird shit has vacated the property, so Mira's like, okay, homies, it's time. And we're going to go vibe. So, hope you enjoyed this free-for-all Eclipse debrief. Please keep in mind that these people are going to be trying shit come the solar fucking eclipse. Get your fucking wards rewarded. You're not crazy. Get your shit protected and taken care of. Be practicing your triple waterfall shield. Be doing your energetic protocols. Be doing your daily chakra draining, transmuted energy and activating your chakra sets. I have a playlist for that. You can find that on Ascended Frequencies as well. You can find that on a public playlist on my YouTube. There's options. I posted that in Witchery U somewhere, probably in like the news or the quad this week. So be doing that and be paying attention. If you start getting weird fucking vibes over the next 2 weeks, just pay attention to where it is, where it's coming from. Tune in, ask other versions of yourself. Tune into your covens. Tune into the other versions of yourself and be like, yo, me, where's this shit coming from and what's going on and what do we do about it? And then let's make some shit happen, people, okay? And then they just won't even fucking know what hits them come the solar eclipse. You know, the best defense is a good offense, and it's football season, people, okay? Let's fucking play ball. Yeah, things the spiritual influencers will never use. Football analogies, because they don't get it. But I do. Sometimes. Not like super advanced. Just like, I was like, so how do you move the ball down this grid? I'm interested in the grid and how you progress the ball down it. And then I found somebody to explain this to me eventually and figured it out. And then I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Via witchcraft. And then I was good with that. So on that note, love you. Bye.